if you had a house in San Diego, would it be like, could I like be like, yo, I'm finna pull up in San Diego. Can I stay there? Could I use it?
Could you stay at my hypothetical house?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
That's I'm so ready for the absolutely. You disarmed me.
I would have it. I would build it right next to the Top Gun fighter school, and so I would chill out in the backyard watching planes land all day. It'd actually be
Absolutely not.
unusable as a recording studio because it'd be so loud there.
From the creators of the legendary MD 2020, the original name and high flavor, high alcohol beverages with those unmistakable vibrant colors and iconic flask bottles, Mad Dog by MD 2020 brings the party with 15% ABV in a portable can that tastes incredible with delicious flavor that doesn't sacrifice on drinkability. We've talked a lot. We finally have all 4 flavors right here in front of me. We've talked a lot about the Bling Bling Blue Raz. There's the spiked strawberry as well. We've had those. We finally have whipped orange cream here, which I've been looking forward to for a long time. I'm in my orange right now, as I usually am. And then we have Mad Margarita also. So I think this week we'll focus on the whipped orange cream, which I'm told is delicious. I haven't tried it just yet, but I'm going to go to the Cubs game tomorrow. Maybe I'll have some before I go to the Cubs game.
Again, I know I mentioned the blender a lot. Put it in a blender. It's like one of the orange cream popsicles.
Creamsicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that could work. We need to get one of the is it the Ninja?
Creamy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's the creamy, but then they have a one that's like a
Slushy maker.
yeah. We need to get one of those in here for the Mad Dogs.
Yeah.
MD 2020 just got more convenient. Grab a Mad Dog by MD 2020 and experience why we've been fueling good times for generations. Look for Mad Dog by MD 2020 in your local stores and at drinkmd2020.com now. Must be 21 or older to purchase. And one more thing. Arian said he's a big lib who voted for Obama and he really loves Mad Dog 2020. It's the ultimate pregame drink. So,
Welcome back to Macrodosing. It's Nanodosing. It is Tuesday. It's June 17th. We got Arian, Big T, Mad Dog, McKinsey, and yeah, we're back. We're back. Everybody have a good weekend? Big T, good weekend?
it was a solid weekend. What did I do? I went to the Cubs game Friday. Went
Nice.
to see Skeens, as we talked about. And then yesterday I went to a like street fair deal that they had near my apartment.
That sounds like a great time.
Yeah.
A lot of street fairs. It's street fair season.
And I was, we'll get into T-Dolph early. I was under the impression you go to this thing where there are vendors where they're asking you to spend money.
Mm-hmm.
You just go and then you can buy whatever you want. There was a suggested donation of $10 a person to get into the place where you then earned the right to spend more money. And it was unclear to whom the suggested donation was going.
Yeah.
It was just people at the front. They're like, hey, there's a suggested donation. And I really wanted to walk past.
Mm-hmm.
But they kind of had me cornered at that point.
I'm guessing the organizers of the street fair, the committee.
It seemed to be something of that ilk, yes.
Uh-huh. So did you donate?
Yeah, unfortunately.
You had cash, or was it like
No,
scan this QR
they had
code?
card readers there, yeah.
Yeah, they've made it very easy.
Mm-hmm.
Very easy to get paid.
Bet they had tap to pay, just to let you go.
I'll never forget the first homeless guy to whom I uttered my go-to phrase, sorry, I don't have any cash. And
Yeah.
he said, oh, I have Venmo. I was like, then you're probably not homeless.
If you have a Venmo?
Yeah.
Why's that?
Well, if you have an iPhone and Venmo, he had everything. He had Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. He had everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so did you donate to him?
No.
Even though he said, like, I got you covered?
Yeah, then he had angered me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're like, no, it's
Yeah.
I need to prove a point.
Then I just kept walking.
Yeah.
Why does that anger you?
I don't know.
Because he took away your great response.
Yeah.
Got you.
I mean, when they disarm you, when they have an answer for everything, overcoming objections, that's a good salesman.
Yeah. Yeah.
That what they teach you in salesman school?
Yeah, just overcoming objections. I mean, so like you
Nice.
find out what the most likely reasons why people wouldn't buy your product are, and you figure out how to disarm those ahead of time.
Steel manning.
Yeah, yeah. You anticipate the reaction from your opponent or your prospective client in this case, and then you figure out, okay, I'm going to be prepared if they say budgets are kind of tight right now. Well, we've got a payment plan, that sort of thing. Do you think we're going to get to a place where people in the streets are going to have like a payment plan? And say like for the price
For you to be able to get on a payment plan with them.
Yes,
I mean, now they have the, what is it, Klarna, the door you can DoorDash, you finance a burrito.
Yeah, but like for the price of 1 cup of coffee a day, it's only 99 cents out of your pocket, Big T. 99 cents a day. Everyone can afford that, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that's who the financing people need to get in touch with.
Mm-hmm.
You could do 5 payments of $2.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a great deal.
Yeah.
It's actually a fantastic deal. Aaron, how was your weekend?
It was good, man. Kind of in recovery mode right now. Yesterday was Father's Day, so I got all my little ones, and it was a great day. We went to see How to Train Your Dragon, the live action joint.
Mm-hmm.
Might be, I would say, yeah, the best animated live action movie that has been, in my opinion.
You think so?
They did a great job, dog. It was, and like I'm like a stan of all the How to Train Your Dragons. They did an amazing job, and they got dude that actually played Hiccup's dad. I forget his real name. He was the dude in 300.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dude. I don't know his name, but anyway, they got him. He was actually Hiccup's dad because he played the voice actor in How to Train Your Dragon. So everything was top notch, bro. Animation, it was dope.
Gerard Butler.
There you go. Yeah, that's him. He's actually playing in it, so it was really dope. I was super happy. And then came home. One of the things I wanted to do for Father's Day, I wanted to pie all my kids. I've never pied anybody, and so I pied. They all lined up, and I just pied up. Wop, wop, wop. It was really fun.
You pied your kids for Father's Day?
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
Whipped cream or shaving cream?
whipped.
It's probably better.
That's great. Did you take it easy on them?
No, I smeared it all in and then mushed. Yeah. Oh yeah,
That's a great Father's Day present.
it was dope. It was dope. I enjoyed it.
Were there any objections to it? Were they like, okay, Dad, we'll do this for you, or were they like, come on, man, don't pie me?
Nah, they lucky wanted to get pie.
Yeah.
I had never done it. It was fun. It was really dope.
So you saw How to Train Your Dragon. I was confused about that because I remember when How to Train Your Dragon came out, and then they did sequels to it. But now they're back doing the original one, which is live action, but it also has computer animation in it.
Yeah.
So it's not all live action.
Well, I mean, yes, it is.
What about the dragon?
Yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as dragons, so you can't.
Is he trained yet? I feel like that movie came out like 15 years ago.
Yeah, I can tell you didn't watch it.
For sure.
But is it the same dragon, the same CGI dragon as they had in the original version?
No, it's better.
Oh, it's a better dragon.
Yeah. You should watch it.
I might check it out. Does it breathe fire?
Not the Night Fury. Well, the Night Fury kinda. He's the one the movie's about, the dragon the movie's about, he's a Night Fury. Night Furies have like this special, like, I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know. But it's not fire like the regular, like the other dragons.
Yeah.
It's different.
We had a moment in the office last Friday where we were getting ready to play Dungeons and Dragons, and our dungeon master, Tim Woods, came in, and he was hanging out in the front. And then we realized that Ice Cube was on his way into the office. And we're like, oh, we have to introduce Ice Cube to Tim Woods. And they got a chance to meet real quick. But if we had known, we would have asked Ice Cube to play D&D with Tim Woods. I think he would really enjoy it.
How was that
That'd be
interaction
fun.
between them?
Oh, it was short and sweet.
Love.
I was like, hey, this is our DM, Tim Woods. And he was like, what's up? Good to meet you. And they had a nice little...
Did he know what Dungeons and Dragons was?
No, I think he was just like walking past real quick. So I didn't get a chance to talk to him because he was doing like a bunch of different shows here. But I feel like he would. I feel like he knows what Dungeons and Dragons are. Most people do, right?
I didn't know until COVID.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, when COVID hit, I had a homeboy who plays, and I was like, I ain't got shit else to do. So every Sunday we would do it. Shout out to the D&D crew. Um, my man's Jake. But that shit, I absolutely love that game.
What's your
That's fun as
character?
shit. I was a oh shit. I was an assassin type. Uh, and I was a thief. I
Paladin?
forget
Were you a paladin?
I forget the name. It wasn't that. I forget. I had like a hoodie and everything. I forget, man. But yeah, I used to strictly go into cities or towns just to rob the rich people.
I love that.
That was all I did.
You
And
were cloaked up?
huh?
Cloaked up?
Yep, cloaked up. I had to do is he had me roll for a sweetness check. So like if we walked into a bar, I had to check if anybody was sweet
Mm-hmm.
and and see how I can get away with it. And so everywhere we went, I was stealing from people. It was funny as shit.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, I feel like Big T, you've never played Dungeons and Dragons, have you?
No.
Would you?
I'm not vehemently opposed to it. I don't really understand what's going on, but
There's a lot of nonsense. The game is nonsense.
I would say most board games are.
Do you have a board game that you actually enjoy?
Scrabble.
Yeah, that's the least nonsense of all the board
Yep.
games. Boggle is a little bit more nonsense
Don't know that I've ever played that.
because you shake
How
the
are we
letters
how are
up.
we defining nonsense?
Yeah, it's just kind of one of those things with Big T that you know it when you see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Scrabble is the most cut and dry, straight. Here are your letters. Make words out of your letters. Boggle, you shake the letters up. That's a little bit nonsense. It's nonsensical.
Okay.
Trivial Pursuit I enjoyed for a while.
Yeah, like what board games would Ron Swanson enjoy?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how
Is,
Big T.
is Monopoly have nonsense in it?
Monopoly was fun when I was a kid. I haven't played in I don't know how long, but
What do you think about the message behind Monopoly?
Asshole.
I don't know what that is.
I think it's one of those things where it's in the eye of the beholder.
Hmm.
You could play Monopoly and be like, "You're such a fucking asshole buying all these hotels on the cheapest properties.
That's how you
Now
win.
I can't afford to stop here anymore. And what happened to the town I once loved?"
Yeah.
Monopoly's fun. It's just nobody's ever played a game Monopoly that's lasted under 2 hours.
They have better ones now. There's a junk called fuck. God damn it, I forget what it's called. There's a bunch of different versions. One of them has a credit card jump. Every game's like 15 minutes. It's really
Yeah.
fire. It's really dope. And then there's one that's really dope. It's called Monopoly Deal. It's just cards. That is really fun. I've had some battles with that one.
Are y'all playing board games very often?
Not really, no.
Okay.
But I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play board games.
You have
I play board
kids.
games. It's rare that they play. It's mostly the adults.
Really?
Yeah, there's this game called Catan. Hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, board games are fun, dog.
Catan is one of those games that feels like it's too complicated for me to learn at this age. I feel like I've learned every board game. Every board game I'm going to play, I already know.
Nah, you like it. You like Catan. It's not that hard to learn.
There was an article a few years ago. I think the Green Bay Packers all used to play Catan in the locker room. It was like
Oh,
Aaron
really?
Rodgers, Bakhtiari, those guys, yeah. And it got like super competitive.
Shit's fun, man. Board games are great. I love board games. Like, have some drinks with the fellas. Board games, cards. We play cards, especially at family get together. We play cards like a motherfucker.
You still have to teach me Boo-Ray.
Oh yeah. Next time I'm in town, we'll do it.
Okay. I want to play Boo-Ray, and then I want to start a Boo-Ray game here at the office.
Oh, hey, I'm with that. We can do that.
Barstool Boo-Ray.
Yeah, we can do that. That'd be fun.
Take some money off these guys. Mad Dog McKenzie, how was your guys' weekend?
Good. We celebrated Mackenzie's birthday.
Happy birthday, McKenzie.
Thank you.
Yes. And happy birthday, Tupac. Rest in peace.
Yes, today.
And Wonton Don.
And Wonton
And
Don.
Wonton Don.
Oh yeah,
right.
we have officially begun Jaloon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
We're in Jaloon right now, the best month of the year according to Wonton Don.
Mm-hmm.
That is the 16th of June through the 15th of July.
Mm-hmm.
The best calendar month of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
why is that? Just because of July 4th, like summer?
Yeah, summer, school gets out, good weather, vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. So McKenzie, what'd you do for your birthday?
We did a little brunch and then we just went out, kind of hung out, day drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing crazy.
Love that.
But yeah, it was fun.
We also went to a different arts fest that was not the one that Big T went to. A lot of festivals. in
Which one
Chicago.
did you go to?
We were at the Wells one.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I
Tommy.
heard. I ran into Tom Lay at the thing, and he was like, "There's another one that's way more artsy." I was like, "I don't need
Yeah.
to be at."
We
that
were at
one.
the arts fest. You were at Taste of Randolph.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I accidentally went to Taste of Randolph on Saturday.
Really?
Did you try to go to a restaurant?
I did, yeah. I was
Yeah.
going to go out to a restaurant for lunch, and then I got dropped off about 3 or 4 blocks away
Yeah.
in my Uber, and then I was like, "What? Why are we getting dropped off here?" Oh yeah, the entire street is shut down
Yeah.
Where were you
for a
going?
festival. Went to a place called Bandit.
Oh yeah.
Love
For brunch?
Bandit.
Great mozzarella sticks.
They've got good food there.
Mm-hmm.
Good Bloody Marys, one of the best Bloody Marys in town.
Yeah, no, but we had our own arts festival on the other side of town.
It is arts festival, street festival season right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
sure.
They're
Yeah.
popping off, and there's definitely rivalries between the different commissions and organizations that set them up. Because you've got conflicting dates on weekends now.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
it's big business.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised they had 2 like
Huge
in
festivals.
that same weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. It was impossible to
Interesting.
get Ubers.
Great drinking outside weather.
Oh
Yes, it was good.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Big T, I want to talk about some of the news that you've got on your sheet here that you sent over today.
You should do that.
One really, really interests me because I saw some of this going around this weekend, but I don't know what it is. There's a former Tennessee football player that is under investigation for pine straw fraud.
So there
What is pine straw fraud?
there are several layers to this.
To the pine straw?
The pine straw is one element. So there's this guy named Grant Frerking, Frerking. Frerking.
Fricking.
He was a walk-on football player at Tennessee,
Okay.
and while he was playing, owned this supposedly like massively successful pine straw business called Metro Straw. And
How successful can a pine straw business be?
I think
I'm
it
not
was supposed to be like a $1 million business.
okay.
While he was in college.
So he gets pine straw, which is like a byproduct of pine trees.
Okay.
So does he have a pine tree farm, and he
I-
just waits for them to shed, and
I
then
don't know all the details of Metro Straw.
or does he like go to people's places that have pine trees, and they're like, I got all this fucking straw laying around, I'm trying to get rid of, and then so it's free product for him that he repurposes.
I can't answer that question.
I
for
need
you.
to know.
I think it's just it was a landscaping business.
Okay.
And so that was supposedly very successful. So he's on all these like, look at what a great entrepreneur this guy is while he's playing college football, this, that, and the other. He graduates and went to work at On3, which is a sports media company in Nashville, and he was doing a bunch of NIL stuff. I think he ran they do like events for recruits and stuff.
Yeah.
He was like kind of in charge of their whole NIL venture. I believe he was still doing the straw business. And then apparently, unbeknownst to On3, also had a consulting role with Tennessee's football program, which I believe Shannon Terry said they had explicitly prohibited him from doing.
Conflict of interest.
Yeah.
As a journalist.
So apparently, and allegedly, a word we love on this show, he has been scamming a bunch of people out of a lot of money from the pine straw business. Was also evicted from 2 Nashville apartments, either this year or last year. Evicted from 2 luxury Nashville apartments in 2025, for owing more than $16,000 in rent.
Yeah.
A limo driver claimed Frerking stiffed him $2,500. So it seems there's a lot of smoke of this guy being an unscrupulous business dealer. And so he got fired from On3. I think the Roswell Police Department or somebody in Georgia is looking into his straw business.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just kind of in a lot of hot water, which is really weird because I mean, I guess it goes to show you don't know anybody, but he was always seemed to be like a really upstanding, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a representative of UT, like was at all these events with the president and stuff. And seems like he might not have been the best guy.
So what was the straw that broke the camel's back?
That's good.
What was it? What was the last straw for this guy?
That's good.
I don't want to build a straw man argument, but he seems like he was putting up a facade.
Yeah, seems that way.
All right, so what was he doing for On3?
He was in charge. I don't know what his title was. Like one of the top guys in their NIL venture.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find his
As he
title.
was also consulting for the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, he was like I think it said special assistant to Josh Heupel or something.
Now, is this against any NCAA bylaws or rules? Do they have those anymore?
I don't think this is an NCAA issue.
So all the people out there being like UT cheating again.
Yeah, I don't think that was that's part of it. I think he was like it said like an off-field. I think he was a consultant for Heupel. It said for like off the field stuff. Like his job had nothing to do with football.
Off the field stuff, maybe like getting people to go to the University of Tennessee?
No, I think it was like getting Heupel. I don't
Pine
even.
straw.
No, I don't even know what it would be, but it said like nothing to do with football.
Do you think Heupel he just hired this guy to like do his landscaping for him? He's like, I'll cut you in, sweet deal on straw.
Maybe. I think he probably just liked him and he would book him dinner reservations with business people and shit. I don't know.
Okay. So all the people online that are saying Tennessee Volunteers cheating again.
You would be the first I've seen of this.
Okay, I saw a couple people saying that. I saw people saying, here's Tennessee cheating. They're not going to get punished again. They'll get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Alabama fans saying that, which is very funny.
Sure.
Very funny to hear that from other SEC schools where everybody else is above board. I want to know more about the pine straw business, I'll be honest, because it seems lucrative. If you can find somebody
clearly not.
that grows pine trees and then you just get all their dead needles and then you sell those needles, that's a great business operation.
Good margin. Yeah.
Great margin on that. You sell it to golf courses. So there are people out there that don't have pine trees in their yard that are like, I really would like the pine straw without the fuss and the muss of having the pine tree.
So here's this is from the Knoxville News Sentinel. All the while, Frerking has been accused of pretending to work for Metro Straw, his former ground cover business, to collect money from customers who sent payments believing he still worked there, only to be left without product delivered. So it seems he no longer is associated with the business, but was still collecting payments from people.
People maybe had recurring payments set up for their pine straw needs.
I think he, Doug Proctor, a Georgia man who told Knox News he was scammed by Frerking as a Metro Straw customer, said, quote, Grant Frerking is a lying, unscrupulous SOB. All the time he bills himself as a star football player at Tennessee as well as a gifted businessman. What a phony. He needs to be exposed.
Was he a star football player?
No. I don't know that he... Let's see if he even has any stats. I think he got in a couple games. In 2022, he had 1 reception for 4 yards. And in 2021, he totaled 2 catches for 8 yards.
Okay.
Consistent, 4 yards a catch.
Good walk-on player.
Yeah.
So he has been fired by On3?
Yeah.
Because of the association he had with the university that was not disclosed.
I think he was fired for everything, but yeah, that was part of it that they were mad about.
Because they told him you're not allowed to work for the school if you're going to cover the school.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess good for On3.
Yeah, I mean,
what does this say about the University of Tennessee, Big T?
I don't know that it says anything.
Arian, do you think it says something about the school?
I think there are a lot of good people and a lot of bad people that go to every college in America.
That's a good point. Would you say the same thing if it was Alabama?
Yeah. There are a lot of great people that have gone to Alabama. A lot of scumbags that have gone to Alabama.
Name one. Name one great person that's gone to Alabama.
Justin Thomas, I like a lot.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Forrest Gump.
I didn't know he went to Alabama.
Oh, huge Alabama
Big
guy.
Alabama guy. Yep.
Nice.
Aaron, what'd you think about the U.S. Open this weekend?
All that shit was fun to watch. I am a strong advocate for watching pros struggle like that.
Yep.
I absolutely loved that. Just seeing them, and then they throw their little hissy fit tantrums makes it even more better. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Strong Sunday from the course.
Very strong.
Yeah.
It got harder after it rained.
Yeah. That's how golf courses for pros should be. All of them. I don't really like them going 35 under and shit like that. I don't really like that. I mean, I like it. That's golf. But I would much rather see a pro struggle. Like, that course demanded all facets of your game to be on point. And even then, you could have a bad shot. It's just, I love it.
You have a bad break, yeah. And then after it rained, the rough got so much thicker, you couldn't swing through it. What about your boy Rory? Any comment on Rory's outbursts?
I love Rory's game. I think he's one of the greatest players to play this game. I think when it's all said and done, he'll be like number 3 or number 4 easily. Um, he's just a little whiny ass crybaby though. You know what I'm saying? He's just like a little crybaby ass, just entitled ass. You know what I mean? Like I don't care for his antics, but who am I? You know, I don't know. But he is a little whiny ass crybaby though. It's funny. I I enjoy it because it's funny. But like I feel like if I was like his friend or something, like bro, you gotta stop bitching, dog. You bitch a lot.
He does, but he needs a buddy. I don't think he has any friends.
Yeah, you got a bunch of yes men around him. He just be crying about the silliest shit. Like, dog, you one of the greatest ever. Stop
Yeah.
crying.
What did you think about the flashback to Tiger Woods?
Yeah, my man was telling me when there was a rain today. For people that don't know, there was a rain delay in the U.S. Open, and then and they started playing the telecast of the 2008 U.S. Open.
Yep.
At Torrey Pines, and I didn't fact check this, but he said that there was an uptick in viewership. Is that true?
I don't know. I don't know if the ratings came out yet, but I know that once that came on, I was like locked in. I was like, oh, hell yeah. Tiger's in contention. It's Saturday somehow. Let's see if he can get 2 eagles in the last 5 holes. I don't think he can.
That was funny.
I felt bad all over again for Rocco Mediate.
You know, he has made. I really like that dude. Like any interview you ever hear him about that day, it's never bitter. It's always like, bro, that was the greatest golfer of all time. I was like, he's like, I went toe to toe with him. He's like, I'm super proud of that shit, which is he's just a really like he has a great mindset about that.
Yeah, on 18 on Sunday, and Tiger needs to make birdie to force a playoff. Mediate knew. He was like, yeah, of course he's going to make a birdie here.
Yeah, it's like 18-footer too. Insane.
Yeah. No, it was great watching that, and I stopped what I was doing, and I was like, oh, shit, Tiger's on. Let's tune in. Prime Tiger, the kids won't ever understand what it was like to watch Prime Tiger in a major championship.
Man,
it was
just the
different.
excitement. Just the excitement. I don't know what it is about that dude, but it just he brings the I don't know what it is. He has it. Whatever it is. The kids calling it aura nowadays.
Mm-hmm. You know who else has aura? Victor Hovland.
Mm-hmm.
Victor Hovland. Mackenzie's a big fan.
Mm-hmm.
That dude looks so old. It's weird.
No, you sent a bad picture.
I didn't say that was Big T.
No, that was
bro.
me.
Oh.
Because he was talking shit about Scotty.
Get off my bumper, Mac. I know that's your boy. I'm just saying. I was banging
He
for
looked
Scott, bro.
tired.
He did.
I took a picture of Scotty Scheffler walking into the bed because bro.
That was also a bad picture too.
Bro, I'll be fact checking it with my family. Everybody around me, bro. I'm being gaslit by my podcast crew about Scotty Scheffler looking 28 years old. It's insane, dog. It's just funny, dog.
He does not look 28, but he doesn't look like he's 60.
He did
I
have
didn't
a
say
little
60.
dad belly in that photo you sent too.
That's okay. We all have that.
Yeah.
You know? I need to tighten back up.
Who's the
actually.
angle?
It's getting out of control.
When did Victor Hovland mania start?
I feel like relatively recently, maybe a couple years ago.
Because I've seen some of the TikTok edits
Yeah.
where it's just like thirst traps for Victor Hovland.
Yes, there's many.
I feel like that's been a very recent thing.
That specifically I think has been recent. But
Probably
I feel
since,
like
this season, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he was like starting, like once he kind of came onto the scene, everybody was like, oh, who's this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. If he was, let's say, from Ohio,
Hey.
instead of being from overseas, from Europe, would he still have that same aura? Or is it also the fact that, kind of exotic?
I think so, just because like
I think the aura would remain.
yeah, just like his personality, like he's very funny and he's very like child, like he's always like having fun sort of thing. So I feel like that's part of it. But it definitely adds to it. But it's not like he has like an accent or anything.
People
so.
from Ohio have aura.
Do they?
Yeah, there are some.
LeBron.
We exist.
Oh, MGK?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has an aura.
Bone Thugs? They've got aura.
Bone Thugs.
Yeah, LeBron.
Damn.
Drew Carey. I feel like Drew Carey has aura.
Drew Carey has aura?
Sure.
He's the most Ohio guy to ever exist.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that where no, is Dave Chappelle? No, he just lives there.
He
now.
lives in
That's
Yellow
right.
Springs.
Yeah, he lives there. Yeah.
There's aura in Ohio.
What do you think about MGK's new song?
I haven't heard it.
That does not come across my desk.
Oh, it doesn't? It came across my desk because the clips of him dancing
Oh,
in the music video.
Yeah, I've seen the clips of the music video.
Yeah,
I love
think
it.
it's a bad
I
song.
like it.
I think
Yeah.
it's. I think it's.
Music he should have made. He should have been making first. That's why I like it.
I think it's a decent song, but people are going to clown on it because the video is so cheesy for it. Where he's like skipping around a car wash or some shit.
It's like very 1994.
Yeah. I also think that if he just put distorted guitars instead of having it be a pop song, people will be like, oh yeah, he's back on his pop punk shit.
I like it.
It's very catchy.
Yeah, I like it.
It's not bad. What else we got today, Big T? Will Smith also has a new song out.
Someone tell me about Will Smith, because it seems to me, as a very distant Will Smith observer, he is almost intent on like making himself look bad.
You
in
saying
the last few years,
maybe some self-destructive tendencies in there?
Yeah, but like, I mean, so the slap thing happens.
Yep.
Which was in the heat of the moment, I guess. Whatever. This is several people could have stopped this from happening.
Yeah. So Will Smith has never been like a boundary pushing artist. He was always like a very safe PG rated rapper back in the day.
But I would say when I was a kid, Will Smith was cool.
Yeah.
It seems he's quite the opposite now.
Because you were a kid, though.
Yeah, but I mean, would you not agree that was mostly the consensus?
How my vision of him was a little different. I always thought he was a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
Loved him on Fresh Prince. But I never really looked at him like, he was always kind of corny to me because of the music he made. Like, he had a line. Yeah, that's why Eminem talked shit about him.
Mm-hmm.
He had a line. He said, it's so whack. He said, do me a favor. While you talking about who you gonna put in the hearse, try to write one verse without a curse. Shit like that. Like, shut the fuck up. And that's what Eminem said. Eminem said, Will Smith don't got a cuss in his raps to sell records. Well, I do. So fuck him and fuck you too. But it's like, that's how I always looked at as him. Like, he's always been kind of corny, but I mean, it's Will Smith. Great
yeah.
actor.
And when Eminem came out, he did clown Will Smith a lot. Like, he had a music video where he was like, I'm upstairs, I'm just trying to listen to my Will Smith CD, and my house starts burning down. By the way, have you seen Eminem's, I think it's his nephew? His nephew is now a rapper.
He had brothers and sisters.
I got tagged in this probably a million times on TikTok. I can see possibly a resemblance. I can see a slight resemblance to maybe if I had a mullet and I was 25 years old.
Oh, to you.
I can see it, yeah. A lot of people were like, oh, this looks just like... I don't think it's an exact replica, but I can understand. There were a couple scenes where he's like hanging out to the side of a car, and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of like if you would use a handsome filter on some sort of like CGI AI and put me in a mullet. I could see it. I'll just say that. I could see it.
Oh, I see it.
You see the one I'm talking about?
I think so. If this is I'll send it in the group chat.
Yeah, send it in the group chat.
Be your own judge on that one.
Ryan Oakes music.
Like, if you see the picture of him hanging out the side of the car in the background, in the video where he's like talking to the camera, not so much, but in the background you can see it at the start.
I can see what they're saying.
It's like, I get it.
Yeah, I can see what they're saying.
So shout out this guy. I hope this guy becomes mega famous. Yeah, if you go back to the one 5 days ago on his TikTok, where it says, "Why does Eminem's nephew have bars?" I see it.
I see it a little.
I see it. Yeah. Also in the news today, Lake Lanier has claimed another swimmer.
I can't believe people are still doing this.
I would simply not go in that water.
Yeah.
Has it been like an especially deadly last couple years since we did the episode about it?
I feel like I haven't heard about it in a while, but summer's ramping up, so maybe this is, the first one this year.
So this guy jumped in with a life jacket on, but then the life jacket came off. If you can't swim, just don't jump into a big body of water. even if you have a life jacket on. There's also been some reports that Austin is still possibly dealing with a serial killer. Because the news article said like they've just discovered like 30 bodies in Lady Bird Lake. In reality, that's like 30 some bodies over the last 10 years or 5 years or whatever.
Is this the guy from a year or two ago?
Yeah, there's been, for whatever reason, people in Austin and people that pay attention to the Austin news have been saying, oh, there might be a serial killer here, because there have been some like 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds that go missing. They turn up in the lake. I think it's probably just people, one, occasionally falling into the water. Two, there's a shitload of construction debris in that lake. And by the way, it's not a lake. It's a river. I don't know why they're so confused in that town. They have a river that goes through town. It is actually called the Colorado River, but it's not the Colorado River from the Grand Canyon. It's a different Colorado River. But for whatever reason, in the section where it goes through downtown Austin, they call it Lady Bird Lake, or they call it Lake Austin. So kids growing up in Austin have a really fucked up perception of what a lake is. They're like, oh, yeah, lakes have currents and they flow and they go on forever. But there's also a bunch of construction debris that has been thrown into that river from all the construction over the years, a lot of it illegally. And so in that construction equipment and debris, you've got like concrete and rebar sticking out. So if you jump in the wrong spot, you get stuck on the concrete or on the rebar, and then you just don't come up because you're stuck down there. But people think that maybe there's a serial killer. And there could be, but people are super freaked out about it. So just be careful if you're going out drinking in Austin. I know you won't be.
That's I don't think any of us have really any response to that.
No.
My brother lives there.
Tell him
I'll
be
let
careful.
him know. Yeah.
Tell him be careful. But yeah, the news article that I saw was like 30 bodies discovered in Lake Austin. It was like, yeah, well, over the last 8 years,
Right.
they've taken 30 bodies out of there.
That's still not great.
No, it's not good. It's not good. What else we got in the news today?
I have a question for you. So this plane crash that happened, the Air India flight.
Yes. Oh, me and Big T got into it on Friday.
I think you were mostly just arguing with like something I didn't really care about. That's neither here nor there.
Okay.
This is not what my question's about. It seems I've seen a few pilots say that what seems to have happened is instead of retracting the landing gear, these pilots retracted the flaps on the wings, which made the plane go down. Is that what you've seen as well?
I've seen some people say that, but most of the people that I've seen say that are like, we need to wait for all the facts to come out, because right after a plane, you're not going to know what happened. You can speculate on what happened. And what they're saying is when the plane took off, it gained lift momentarily, and then it very calmly just descended. Like it ran out of power, or ran out of lift to keep climbing after you take off. And so there could be a couple reasons for that. When I first saw it, it looked like the flaps weren't extended, but it was also from a video that was taken a long distance away. So you don't know. So they're saying that once you take off, then you say, okay, we've got a positive rate of climb, and then the other pilot reaches over and you retract the landing gear as soon as you have that, because the landing gear causes a lot of drag. And so if you really want to take off and gain a lot of speed and altitude, you pull the landing gear up and then you start climbing really high.
But what I described seems like a reasonable explanation to you.
I think it could be a reasonable explanation, but then some other things have come out that make me doubt that.
Okay, well, suffice it to say, my question was, is it just that easy that a plane can crash, that instead of retracting the landing gear, they hit the flaps and then you die?
Yeah, it could. That could definitely happen.
Because I'm not scared of flying. That makes me a little scared of flying.
Well, I mean, if you practice flying and somebody says, please retract the landing gear, chances are you're going to retract the landing gear.
Sure, but I mean, the one wrong lever pull and you're dead?
I would say if you accidentally retract the flaps instead of the landing gear and then you don't correct it, that's what's so dangerous about takeoff, is like you're very close to the ground. So if that same thing happened up, 1,000, 2,000 feet in the sky, you'd have enough time to fix your mistake. But if you make a mistake that costs you like 400 feet of altitude right after takeoff, then yeah, you're fucked.
All right, yeah, that's not good. Don't love that.
No, it's not. It's not good.
I am absolutely scared of flying. I hate flying. It's the worst thing to do.
What's your least favorite part?
The possibility of dying.
Like takeoff, landing.
All of it sucks. I mean, there's a point where you're, relatively feel safe, but just the thought of me flying through the air at that height, at that speed is fucking. It just debilitates me, and I hate it. I hate flying. I never used to be like this either. It's happened in the last like 5 years.
It feels peaceful when you're up there until you see like something else flying through the sky and you realize how fast you're going.
Shit's insane, dog. And then oh God. And what bothers me more about turbulence is and rightfully so, that's what their job is. Like the flight attendants and stuff. They just don't have any reaction. Like, we'll just fucking dip, and they're just going about their duties. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
bruh, this is fucking scary. And I just can't, dog. Like, I wish the United States of America would get its shit together and put together high speed railways.
The flight
So
attendants make me feel better though. Like I look at them, and if they're like completely fine, I'm like, all right, it's nothing.
Maybe it's just that everything bothers me when I'm that scared. I don't know. That could be it. But I hate it. There's nothing about it I enjoy. I guess I enjoy getting there fast. That's fun. But I would much rather sacrifice the time and leisure traveling. Like I would if it take me 5-6 hours instead of a 1 hour flight or whatever the case may be, I'm absolutely taking the train every single time.
What about a future where it's self-driving cars, and so you just get in and the back seat is like a bed, and you just lay down in the back seat and you just chill for like 3 hours and then show up?
Car?
Yeah.
I would have to see the success rate of the cars, all that data over the years of testing.
Mhm.
But yeah, that would actually be fire.
But if you saw the crash rate of like normal cars, you'd never get in one.
No, that's comparing apples and oranges.
No, what I'm
understand
saying,
that
like
argument.
I would be certain that whatever self-driving cars we have are infinitely better than human drivers.
I think that's the future. Absolutely. I just think the bar for being a pilot is much higher, exponentially, thousands of times harder and higher than it is getting your driver's license. So any random person. So that's why there's more car crashes, is because there's more stupid people.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But trains. I'm a train advocate all day, every day. Train is the superior way to travel.
I agree with that. Trains are the best. Big T, also in the news today that you sent over. We got Trump Mobile coming out.
Yeah. No, this is big. $47.45 a month.
That's the price?
Uh-huh.
That's so funny.
With the T1 phone, it's going to be $500 assembled in America.
Okay.
So this could be the future.
Do you think what's the service gonna be like on there?
$47.45 a month gets you unlimited calls, text, and data.
What color is the bubble gonna be on the text messages?
That's a good question.
Red bubble. It's
got to be red.
You get red
Or
bubble.
gold. He loves gold.
You get red bubble from somebody. Is that better? If you got a red bubble though in a blue bubble text thread, you would be so pissed off.
I mean, it's just going to be green on an iPhone because it doesn't use iMessage.
So, do we know what operating system he's going to be on?
All I know is that it's 47 mobile. That's all I know.
And it's $47.45 a month.
The company said its mobile phone plan, which it dubbed the 47 plan, won't require a contract or credit check. In an interview on Fox News Business, Eric Trump said the new phone and service will align with its father's policy plans to boost American manufacturing and employment.
Okay, Aaron, you going to get one? How good would the service need to be for you to get a Trump phone?
There's in no reality would I get a Trump phone.
What if it worked on airplanes?
You bought the Apple fucking VR shit. You won't buy this? What if it's awesome?
I'd rather have no phone.
One, it's not
Call
going
me
to
on
be
a
awesome.
landline.
Yeah.
Two, I would bet my last dollar this venture is going to fail like the 99% of the rest of the shit that he's put his name on. Hotels, steaks, vodka, universities, all that shit's going to go underwater. It always does. This is going to do that too. Three, this is absolutely not going to be manufactured in America. I would bet my last dollar on that as well. Four, no, this would be everything against, he has a sycophantic club that's gonna buy whatever he peddles. Didn't he sell Bibles too? This shit.
Oh, that was a collab. That was
with Lee Greenwood.
Yeah.
Bro, this shit is a we live in a parody, dog, and I just am
It's
sitting
literally
back
Veep.
enjoying every moment of it. It's hilarious. This is funny. This is a funny time to be alive.
You could argue that his most successful business venture has been selling a coin that doesn't actually exist. Like
Yeah.
just giving money, just paying money, and then you get a number that's on your computer or on your phone, and you're like, oh, this number went up.
I would be so shocked if this thing is assembled in America. I would be, I would be glad to be say I'm wrong, and if it gives some people some jobs, I'm happy about that. I'm about Americans having good work, but that shit ain't happening.
What if it was union made in America, and they're paying $50 an hour to every employee? It's a co-op, and the service is crystal clear. No dead zones. You can use them on planes.
Trump is he's the Trojan horse for socialism.
Yeah. Would you get it then?
I'm fucking in. I'm in. And whoever gets it gets free healthcare. I'm in.
Yeah. So there was a back in the day, early 2000s, ESPN came out with a product called the ESPN phone, and the ESPN phone predated the iPhone. It relied on the mobile network to access the internet, which was extremely slow on a phone back then. Like if you wanted to check a score, you're probably sitting there for like 2 minutes while the thing loads on your phone because this tiny little screen and the networks weren't fast. But ESPN came out with the ESPN phone, and it was a great idea. They actually invented the iPhone, except just only for sports, but the network wasn't good enough yet. And then it became the biggest waste of money in the history of ESPN. I think they lost hundreds of millions of dollars on this thing. And if they had waited like, I don't know, 7 years, it would have been a grand slam business idea. But it just came out. I actually own an ESPN phone. I picked one up online for like $15 a few years ago.
Did you really?
That thing, yeah, it's a flip phone and it doesn't connect to anything. I brought it to the ESPN office one time thinking that it would turn back on like an Independence Day when you get close to the mothership, and then your phone activates. But yeah, people don't talk about that. Like ESPN invented the smartphone, they just did it too early.
I am on the website to pre-order right now. Do you think I can expense this?
How much is it?
$500.
Ooh, maybe. You'd have to put your phone number on there. What's the camera going to be like on that?
It says 50 megapixels.
That sounds
which
like
I
a
just
lot.
Googled. I think an iPhone is 48.
So this is better than an iPhone.
That's what it says. Now it is a 12 gig phone, which is quite a step down from your regular iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
iPhones have like
Oh
1
no, excuse me,
terabyte now.
excuse me. That's the memory is 256 gigs.
Okay.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And
no, this might be a good phone.
Does it say what network it runs on?
It doesn't say. So they have their own network. It runs with the Android 15 operating system.
Okay.
And for those who long for the days of the headphone jack, it has a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on the phone. For those who don't want the AirPods.
Okay. What kind of charger?
5,000 mAh. What is that unit?
I'm not sure.
With 20 watt PD fast charging.
Okay. I need to see the network map of it. It'd be funny if the network map was just red states.
Security in-screen fingerprint sensor plus AI face unlock. This might be a good phone.
Do you think that there's any chance that you would be giving the Trump administration and the Trump family all of your personal data
100%.
and access to all of your texts and phone calls?
Yes. But
Okay.
they're doing that with the Palantir thing.
That's true. Yeah. You're just cutting out the
So-
middleman right now.
Yeah.
Wait, which Trump son is in charge of this?
Both.
Oh, I don't like that.
Which one you would want, Don Jr.?
I would want Don Jr. running
Yeah.
this one. Yeah. Don Jr. seems like he's a wheeler and a dealer.
I've seen both their names mentioned.
I don't like that. I don't like having both sons run it. When was the last time something happened when both sons ran it at the same time and it worked? I think you have to go back to Kitty Hawk, to the Wright brothers.
Sure.
Since then, like putting both sons in charge of something, there's going to be a power struggle there. One guy's going to try to merge as CEO. It's going to be a pissing contest.
Who can we talk to about getting this expensed?
That would be funny being the parent of the Wright brothers. You know what I mean? Like when they first tell you about like, what are y'all working on? It's like we're gonna fly. And you're like, yo, what the fuck? Would y'all just get a job? Like, cut the shit.
Yeah. like if you're in the business of aviation back then, you're probably just gonna die,
No question, bro.
right?
That's funny.
Before we get
We
back,
should get the Trump phone. Oh, my bad.
no, yeah, we should get the Trump phone.
We should get the Trump phone, and that should be like we'll give that number out for voicemails now, and it's just that's for Macrodosing fans, and they could text it. We'll every now and then we'll pop in, answer FaceTime and shit. That shit would be fun.
That sounds like we're getting one.
I'm not spending a red cent to
Who do we talk
anything
to?
from that man. But if you
we
want to
can
express
look into
hey,
it.
We can look into it.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll
I would
look into this.
appreciate that. They're probably going quick, so we should probably.
Right,
tell
I'm
them
sure.
that.
Mhm. Supplies are limited. When can we expect delivery of the Trump phone?
That's a good question. I'm just seeing pre-order the T1 phone. By checking this box, you authorize TrumpMobile.com to charge your card on a recurring basis. However, you can. That's for the phone plan.
Mm-hmm.
However, you can cancel service at any time to stop future billings. We implement appropriate security measures to protect your personal information.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a. We can call 888-TRUMP-45 to see if they could maybe tell us when they're expecting
Tell us a little bit
the
more.
phones to ship.
888 Trump 45. Somebody else call that and see what they say.
Also, USB-C charger. That's big.
Okay.
So your iPhone chargers will work. Listen, time will tell if this thing works or not. Seems like they got the specs solid.
It does. It's a nice looking phone.
Yeah.
Gold plated.
American flag on the back. We got to get a Trump phone. I mean,
I wonder if anybody out there is going to buy it just for the functionality. Like, not a Trump supporter, but I got to be. He delivers a great product.
Yeah.
I
This
don't
phone
think
is-
those people exist
I don't know.
who don't support Trump but respect his manufacturing and business skills.
Yeah, we're gonna see. The free market will tell us whether or not this is a good product or not. Eric Trump said, "We want to have customer service by Americans for Americans. We want to have phones built by Americans for Americans, and we want to do it better than anybody. We're going to disrupt the space." Huh. Okay.
Spoiler alert: they will not be disrupting the space.
You don't think so? Now,
I
according
don't even think this is gonna happen. I mean, I'll be surprised if it happens. But if it doesn't fizzle out within 2 years, I color me shocked.
Now, here's an interesting point that I didn't see before. You can bring your own phone just to the Trump mobile
Network.
carrier
Okay.
for $47.45 a month.
So that's interesting. $47 a month. It says you're going to have more internet. Eric Trump told Fox Business. More internet. We're going to get the internet that we don't get on our normal phones?
I mean, listen, I don't know if we have any sponsorship deals with phone carriers. I've got one that I'm not too thrilled with. So
It says international dialing for free. I think we're really going to shake up the space in a very big way, both in terms of the actual hardware of the films and then obviously eSIM cards and then just what you get for a plan per month, Eric Trump added. Now, I hadn't thought about this. There is a guy that runs Public Citizen, their consumer rights advocacy group. They say that there might be ethical issues that are raised with this phone.
okay.
For example, rival phone companies and manufacturers could face a dilemma if they have a cheaper phone or a service. Will they be intimidated to advertise that? He pointed out. So if you have a better, cheaper service, are you going to feel like you're allowed to advertise it without running afoul of the administration? If you put out a phone that's, let's say Biden puts out his phone, and it's $46 a month. Right?
Well, then Trump could go to 45, 47. He'd have to go down to 44.
Okay, Obama phones.
Yeah.
Those are actually free. Remember that? The Obama phone thing?
No.
Oh man, the Obama phone thing that was one of the scandals of the day in the original. I think it was like 2010. It was like Obama's giving away phones for free, and I think it was part of I forget what initiative it was where you could get like a discounted rate if you fell into the same like guidelines that you would have food stamps, or you get a discounted rate on your cell service, and so then that became like Obama gave everyone who voted for him a free phone.
Now, actually, so I just searched Trump phone on Twitter. Do you want to know who's the most upset about the Trump phone?
I do.
It seems to be some Trump supporters who are upset that the phone will be offering 5G service.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're trying to get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't think about that, right?
We have to get a Trump phone.
Where did I see that people were burning down 5G towers?
I don't know. It's the first I'm hearing of this.
Where was that?
I had a homeboy who, when COVID first started, was wholly convinced it was 5G.
Yeah.
That was a fun time. Oh yeah, he gave me his whole. Well, he gave me a documentary on YouTube.
Then it became the 5G is it's gonna activate the chips in the vaccine. Have those been activated yet?
Oh, I had another homeboy who said that what did he say? The vaccine had micro robots in it, and they were going to activate inside of all of us. Micro robots. And he was dead serious. I could not stop laughing at this dude. It was so funny.
We talking nanobots?
Yeah, nano. That's what it was. Nanobots. I think he just saw an article that said like nano something, nanotech or something like that, and he just went with it. It was, man, what a time.
There was a survey that they did in England in 2020, and 1/3 of British people said that they cannot rule out a link between COVID-19 and 5G.
You say what? Say that one more time.
A third of British people said in 2020 that they can't rule out a link between COVID-19 and 5G technology.
Can't rule it out.
Things are happening at the same time. Can't rule that out. Can't rule anything out.
Can't rule anything out. A third is Jesus.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
It's a lot, yeah.
That's a lot of people, guys.
It is a ton of people.
What's the total population of Europe?
Of Europe or England?
Europe.
I don't know. I could take a
All
guess.
right,
It's a great guess time for Big T.
Okay. The population of Europe, we're including the United Kingdom or no?
Yeah.
I think that's yeah.
Okay. The population of Europe is going to be 430 million people.
Nope. 744 million.
Wow.
Because I think that might include Moscow too.
I was going to ask if that counts.
I think it does, yeah.
I was telling Chaps I
Eurasia.
got one of his things right when I was watching. I was scrolling and one of the things I got one of them right. I guessed correctly. It was the state with the most plastic surgery per capita or something like that. I knew it right away.
What was the answer?
Utah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives? That's a dumb question, Mad Dog. I know that you are. Mackenzie, are you?
Of course.
These women.
They like to have a good time.
They love
Is
ketamine.
this
They
one?
do.
My mom was watching one where like one of the sons ended up committing suicide. Is that
No,
one?
that's Sister Wives.
Sister Wives. Okay,
That's
my mom's watching
different.
that.
But
My mom
yeah.
was explaining it to me. She was like, and he's kind of an asshole.
He's a big asshole.
He's a douchebag. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad hair too. Awful hair.
He's disgusting looking.
Yeah.
I don't understand how he has 4 wives.
But then the other
Not
thing too
anymore,
is like,
but-
yeah, then it's like they got divorced, but like
It
they're
kind
not
of looks like
legally
Victor
married.
Hoffman.
That's
No, you're
No, I have no
Silly.
idea what he looks like. I'm
okay.
just-
no,
What
but
I really mean.
they're not Mormon. I think they're a whole different. They're just
Maddie,
polygamous.
Mac, are y'all watching the new season of Love Island?
We've been asked this 7 times today.
Not yet.
Not
I haven't
yet.
started it yet, but I need to.
This is one of the better Love Island seasons that
Do you
it
think
has
it, but
been.
it's not better than last season. Nothing could ever be.
Bro, this shit
Is
is
it?
juicy, dog. This shit is good.
I
man.
can't get over these men's tattoos.
That is the worst tattoo.
The
maybe
ape
in
shall
the
not
history.
kill ape.
Bro, what the fuck is wrong with you, dog? What the fuck?
There's
is
a
wrong
lot
with
of bad tattoos this season. I'm not a Love Island person, but like I can't even get on board. Like last season, I was kind of like watching it on Twitter because I was like, these people are really entertaining. I can't get past how I can't get past the tattoos this season.
you?
I'm like, why is anyone going for the ape shall not kill ape guy?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, I don't know where it's at right now. I don't want to spoil anything, but I don't think Shorty really like him. Yeah, it's just she got to stay on the show.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. No, but wait, what about Secret Lives of Mormon Wives?
So what's their deal? They don't get to do drugs. They don't get to drink, but they do get to take ketamine if it's prescribed by a psychiatrist?
Some of them do drink. Like they call them the saints and sinners. The saints are the ones who like still
Follow the rules.
relatively stick to the church. The sinners are like they drink, they party, they
There's
do
a couple
whatever
of
they
them
want.
that are ex-Mormon, so a couple of them aren't in the church at all anymore.
And do any of them have multiple wives, multiple husbands?
No.
No,
Well,
no?
okay, so no, but
No one has multiple husbands, yeah. But
No.
well, yeah, no. But okay, so they don't have multiple partners, no, but the whole reason that the show started is because a couple of them were involved in that soft swinging scandal.
go on.
So, wait, did you miss this?
Soft swinging. Yeah, I did miss this.
So, a couple years ago, the reason this show started is because the main woman of this show, the mom talk was in this scandal where they were swingers. They called it soft swinging because I think the whole thing was like, oh, we'll do stuff, but we won't have sex.
Yeah, they weren't having sex.
Um,
Is what they say.
yeah, and then things got a little bit too funky, spicy, fresh.
One of the husbands that was swinging fell in love with the other husband's wife.
Yeah.
So then this girl went on TikTok live and basically was like, this is happening. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if she dropped names or not, but everybody kind of like knew who was involved already. So then that
So then it became a whole
was how the
thing.
whole show started.
And then the main woman of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, who was involved in the swinging scandal, she got divorced because of it. And also the whole thing is like the women who were involved in the swinging show, a lot of them are no longer with those partners because a lot of them have been like, well, we were swinging.
What is the soft swing? Why isn't it just swinging?
I think
I
it's
think
because
'cause there
they're
was
not
no
having
sex.
sex. Yeah.
Like they would be like,
And
from-
they're also Mormon, so they're like, we don't want to.
we don't want to be crazy.
Yeah.
But they would
Yeah.
be like, we would make out. It would be two married couples and they would like switch partners and make out with each other's partner in the same bed
Like they'd have parties.
and have like basically like make out parties. It's basically the whole thing is that like they didn't get to party in high school and college. And so like now their issues are coming to light at like 25, 26. Like they're
Yep.
all like young. They're like younger than me. And like the oldest I think is like 28 or 30. Like they're young.
So wait, take me back to the soft swinging again. So they're not having. What are they doing?
They're like making out.
Are they cuddling?
Probably. I mean, probably. It was like a lot of making out and probably like, I would assume blowjobs.
That, to me, feels like swinging.
It is swinging.
No, I mean, it is.
I think
for sure.
I think
They
their
just
line
don't-
is that they didn't have sex with each other.
No P and V.
Yes.
Maybe P and A.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it.
But
Nothing below the equator for the woman.
see, I don't know.
Nothing. The two equators do not match up ever.
Yes, yes, exactly.
They might flip hemispheres
Yes.
like the yin and the yang.
Yes. Yes.
But we're never going southern.
no.
no.
But
But you
we
might
can
go
go
north
south north,
You
or
might
we
go
can go-
north pole. You might go North Pole, South Pole.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think the whole thing was like we could call it soft swinging because we weren't having sex with each other's partners. But it kind of blew up their lives. And then it got totally broadcast on TikTok where they were like openly talking about it on TikTok. And then Hulu was like, this would be a good show.
They
And
took it
it
to the next
is.
level. Yeah.
Yeah. But then now they've brought in a lot of women who weren't necessarily directly involved in that scandal. It's
Well,
just
so
like
originally-
women who are
yeah,
influencers.
it's just
and
like-
Mormons.
Yeah, Mormon wives. But originally, the main girl who like brought it to TikTok, she was kind of like the position person for the show that got it started.
Mm-hmm.
But the other girl involved in the swinging was not the one that
Broadcast
the one that's
it.
husband fell in love with the one who put it on TikTok. She was not on the first season.
No, she's on the second
And then all of a sudden, the second season comes around. She's back
season. She's
because
like all
the
of a
first
sudden
season like did really
right,
well.
she's like, wait, let me cash a check.
And she's obviously divorced from
She's
her husband now too.
and I believe she's like 23 or 24.
They're all really young.
They're all really
Yeah.
young. A lot of like do you guys remember like Alana Vizzoni, Grinelli's fiance?
Yes.
She talked about it on TikTok and was like, a lot of these problems wouldn't be happening to these women if they just like had a party in high school. Like
That's
this is
true. She's
like,
right.
This is a lot of like 17-year-old problems, but they just haven't had the same experience that most people have. And a lot of them got married at like 18, 19. One of the women got pregnant at 16 with her husband, who was 21 at the time's baby. And so then she got married, I believe, at what, Mackenzie? 18, 17,
Yeah, like
18. Like they get married so young, and then they don't get to have a rebellious phase or any phase of anything that isn't marriage.
Wow, are we rebranding that? We're rebranding that the rebellious phase?
Well, they didn't get to have. I mean,
They didn't have a youth.
Yeah, they literally, Arian, they graduate high school, and then they get married and immediately have kids, and then they're like
That's what
25,
I'm saying.
and they're like, wait, what the hell?
Like we call that a whole phase. Everybody got a whole phase.
Yeah, they never had a hoe phase. And
Gotcha.
Mormon hoe phases are different than like non-Mormon hoe phases, because Mormons are very strict about waiting till marriage and not doing a lot of things before marriage. So even if they were having hoe phases, it was like going to Swig, getting a soda, and like kissing in your car.
Now, can you, if you
That's
get
their whole phase.
Mhm.
if you get divorced, are you allowed to get divorced?
yes.
I mean, yeah, they're all. I mean, half of those women are divorced.
And then you have to wait till you get married again
well,
to go.
to have sex again. Is
Yeah.
what you're saying? I
I
think.
don't know how that works.
Yeah,
actually.
I also think I don't know for a lot. I don't know for the Mormon population in general how that works, but the way that these women talk about it on the show, no.
Okay.
But I don't want to I don't know. The front woman got divorced, had 2 kids with her first husband, swung, got divorced,
Mm-hmm.
had a baby with another man out of wedlock.
Okay.
So obviously that is a no. And her family like basically shames her for it. Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah, they hate her.
Yeah.
And they love the baby daddy.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
The baby daddy.
Yeah. But
What I learned from this is that everybody's a hoe.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yes.
matter if you pretend, if you hide it behind a cloak of everyone's a hoe.
Yep.
Also, you might as well be. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, talk that shit.
Yeah.
Gives a
But
fuck, man.
the Mormon wives, I think a lot of it, the ketamine thing also, I think a lot of it I've seen people talk about the Mormon wives show and be like, you remove the vices that pretty much everyone else in America and Western civilization has: alcohol, sex, drugs,
Coffee.
coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and you are left to, like, as humans, you still long for a vice. So then they replace vices with these insane dirty sodas, ketamine, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's
Like
prescribed.
prescribed ketamine.
It's no different than
it's
than
therapy.
medicine.
It's
therapy.
therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so
Are you allowed to vape?
I'd assume no, but I have no idea. None of them do on the show, at least.
but the need for a vice is still there within Mormon culture, even though they're not drinking, they're not doing drugs.
Right.
They're getting 44-ounce diet Cokes with coconut and lime in them, or, doing all those things. Like, you still have to do something.
I have a question. Do you think that a swig would take off in a non-predominantly Mormon territory?
I
Yeah,
think-
dude, they're building
Yeah,
them.
I think
Because
now,
I would go.
yes. I think since the Mormon culture has brought them to TikTok, yes.
I mean,
because-
it's a Sonic is pretty similar to.
That's
Swig.
true.
Yeah.
I would go. I would get their drinks and then I would put alcohol in.
Yeah.
I bet it's delicious.
Great mixer.
That's kind of evil.
There are a bunch in Indiana now.
Oh, really?
We got any in Chicago?
No, that's the closest.
But there are dupes. I believe there is at least one dupe in Chicago where they just call it like a dirty soda shop, but it's not Swig.
I would go.
Yeah.
I would check it out. We got some ads to get to. It's baseball season. Before we get to these ads, Big T, I did want to ask you for your takeaways from the big trade that happened yesterday.
Crazy.
So the Red Sox traded Devers to the Giants. He was on, I think he had 8 years left on his contract.
Something like that. Yeah, a
Would
ton
you
of money.
Would you say he's a top 5 hitter in baseball?
5. So Judge, Ohtani, Acuna. He's up there ish, 5 to 10.
So why did they trade him?
They owe him a ton of money. He has kind of been unwilling to work with them on where he's going to play defensively. Seems like the relationship was a bit strained. Had they gotten a good return,
Right.
I actually don't think it's as crazy as people seem to think it is.
Right.
The timing of it is odd. But now they have a ton of money to spend this off. Like if the Red Sox get Kyle Tucker, was it a bad trade? Not really.
Yeah.
So, it was crazy and
Well,
shocking.
I'd say it is a bad trade because you didn't really get that much for him.
Correct. The returns, it seems pretty light.
Yeah, so like when Juan Soto got traded from the Nats to the Padres,
They got a whole core of guys.
they remade their entire farm system.
Correct.
And they got some very, very good players, good young players. Actually, like James Wood, he was in that trade. Mackenzie Gore, he was in that
C.J.
trade.
Abrams.
Yes, there's some great players in that trade, and it was for a year and a half of Juan Soto because his contract was expiring. I would say Devers probably not as good a player as Juan Soto, but close, right?
I don't know that I would concede he's not as good as Juan Soto.
Well, they're in the same ballpark,
Yeah.
and they didn't get shit for him. They got a couple, I guess.
Jordan Hicks being the centerpiece. I mean, I don't know much about the prospect they got, Tibbs or whatever, but yeah, crazy.
Yeah, wild trade. If you're a Red Sox fan, that sucked.
For sure. And the timing is definitely odd, but I think I would be very surprised if the Red Sox don't get a big-time bat this offseason in free agency, pair him with Garrett Crochet, and have a pretty good team going forward.
Now, have you seen the theory that since Fenway Sports Group also owns Liverpool, and Liverpool just paid a guy, $150 million?
I have not seen that.
That's the reason why they're letting go of this big contract, because Devers, he's slotted to make tons of money over the next 8 years. They've committed a bunch of money to him. But Liverpool got Florian Wirtz, and I think they're paying him $150 million.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't attest to that.
I don't think sports owners should be allowed to own multiple teams in multiple countries.
I mean, all the Premier League teams are getting bought by Americans now.
I know. I almost said I don't think that sports owners should be allowed to own multiple teams in different
That would
sports.
put you in a.
That would put me behind the eight ball with that statement. So
Right.
I elegantly pivoted out of that
Mm-hmm.
and said other countries. Focus on one country.
And in England, they all despise all the Americans who own teams here.
Yeah. What'd you think about? I had this idea yesterday. Fans need to start fighting back in America like they do overseas. The ownership should have I don't want to say fear, a healthy respect for their fan base to not drag them through the dirt.
I mean, Tennessee got a coach unhired.
That's true.
It can be done.
It can be done for sure. That was Greg Schiano.
Mm-hmm.
I still hate you for that. You can't
Sorry.
keep a good man down.
Yeah.
I told Hank that Boston, famous for their tea parties, acts of rebellion, they should just teabag John Henry when they see him in public.
Okay. Like that's a crime.
Throw a teabag
with a real teabag.
Throw a teabag at him.
Okay.
Maybe one that's been steeped in like room temperature water, so it's not hot.
Okay.
But it does leave like a small stain. Just throw tea bags at him.
Also illegal.
But for the record, I don't think there's a jury in Boston that would convict you.
Damn, he would have to get a jury of his peers, huh?
Yeah, jury of your peers. Think about who would be judging you. And also, it's a teabag. Dude, if you get hit with a teabag and you file assault charges against somebody, you're a bitch.
But to play devil's advocate, how many World Series does this guy have to win? They've won, 4 in the last 20 years? 21 years?
When did John Henry buy the team?
I'm not sure.
I think you can say, like, how many do they have to win, but also you can point to the last, 6 years.
He bought it in 2001.
Okay.
So he's been there for all 4.
Okay. But you could point to the last 6 years and be like,
the returns they've gotten for the great players they've traded is staggeringly light.
Mookie Betts.
They traded Mookie Betts, Chris Sale, and Rafael Devers, and got Alex Verdugo, Vaughn Grissom, Jeter Downs.
God, I'm not grown up in my baseballdom yet. I have no idea what the fuck you guys are saying.
Yeah, but you'll get there though. Like Mizorowski, the guy who just came up for the Brewers, like you heard about him a little bit before he came up, and then he has
that motherfucker was slinging that thing, wasn't he?
Yeah, and so that's when it's fun. Like I remember Jason Hayward's first game. Jason Hayward was like he might have been the number 1 prospect in baseball, but he was definitely the Braves' number 1 prospect, and he came up opening day. first swing he ever took in the major leagues, hit a home run. It's one of the coolest moments ever. Like a big time baseball prospect coming up is awesome. And
So
then
he was in a farm club,
who?
the Wachowski guy or whatever.
Correct. He was in Nashville, which is
So
the Brewers AAA
a
team.
dude that throws that fast, why are we even messing around in a farm? Or is it like a rite of passage? Like
Well,
why
I think he's
why was
just
he doing that?
young. I mean, how old is he? 23. So yeah, he probably just got drafted a couple years ago.
Is it a control thing where if you bring them up too early, then
That's part of it also. Yes.
So Arian, when GMs are deciding whether or not to bring up a talented young prospect, they also have to take into account the fact that if they bring them up to start the season, that counts as a full year of service in baseball towards arbitration and towards when they can rework their contract. So if you delay the decision, bring them up in like August, then that doesn't count as a full year. So you get control without having to pay the guy for an extra year at that point.
Okay.
The baseball
I don't-
service time thing as a whole, I don't even understand all of it, and I follow baseball very
And-
closely.
I don't know if that is the driving force behind this decision.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, he's just a young guy. Like there's only been in the last like 15 or 20 years, I think the only guy who's ever come up to the major leagues without having played a game in the minors was Garrett Crochet, who played at UT and now pitches for the Red Sox, and he's incredible. But the only reason even he didn't play in the minors was because he got drafted in 2020 when there was no minor league season, and the White Sox just brought him up for the playoffs because he
So
was.
it's
Even
I
if
was
you're
like-
ready, like Paul Skeens, probably the best pitcher in baseball right now, arguably, got drafted 2 years ago out of LSU and still played in the minors for a year. Like you just to make sure guys are like ready for professional baseball and things like that.
so it's not like if you're in a farm club team, you're on the right track, like to get in the league.
Mhm.
For
Like
the
that.
most part, there definitely are guys on, like every team in the majors probably has like 30 legitimate prospects. Like we believe these guys could be major league players, 30 to 50. The rest of the guys on those rosters they're professional baseball players. They're good, but there are a lot of guys on those teams who are never going to play in the majors. But there are probably 40 to 50 guys in every system, which is 4 teams, that the major league club believes are like going to be players for them.
So you could spend an entire career in playing for the minor leagues.
Oh, that's more often than not. I think more than 50% of first round picks never play in the major leagues.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
I
didn't
believe
know
that's
that.
correct. Let me look that up.
Damn. That's baseball purgatory, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
You have to ride a bus.
So wild.
Damn.
And
how
that's
many
that's another reason in the last 10 years or so college baseball has become much more popular, particularly with NIL, is now you can go play at Tennessee, LSU, Arkansas, have an awesome experience, you get paid well, get to go to an SEC school, play baseball, and then you're only playing in the minors for a year or two because you've had that experience, rather than get drafted at 18, play in the minors for 5 years, playing in bumfuck nowhere,
Interesting.
riding
Yeah,
buses
so
for 8 hours.
it's probably better. No, it is. It's better for you to stay in school,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
gain the experience. Oh, okay.
I was incorrect. Approximately 64% of players selected in the first round will play in the major leagues, but still a third don't.
It's still high. Wow.
And keep in mind, that's just play one game. The guys who are difference makers in the major leagues probably much, much lower.
Got you. Where did Jackson Churio go to minor leagues?
I believe he's always been with the Brewers, but let me look. Jackson Churio played
My favorite player right now, man.
in 2022. He played in, is that the Carolina Mudcats? Are they with the Brewers now? Nashville. I'm not sure. I believe he was drafted by the Brewers, I think.
Got you. Ah, interesting. Thank you for the insight, fellas.
Yeah.
You're growing me up into a baseball fan. I love it, dog.
And then once you have like big time prospects that you're like, when is this guy going to get called up? And he comes up and is awesome. Like those are the best.
People were tweeting me before the Wachowski guy. I'm gonna butcher his name.
Mizorowski, I believe.
Mizorowski. They were tweeting me before he was even pulled up. They was like, bro, trust, we got this dude that we're gonna call up, and he's a monster at pitching. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I didn't know what that meant, and now I get it. I see the vision, and he is a welcomed addition.
The
Love it.
Brewers drafted a guy out of UT last year in the first round. He's a big time slugger. He's going to be a beast.
Really,
Blake Burke.
I feel like that's. I think we need some more help on the bat.
See what he's doing this year. Oh, he's hitting 317 this year, 849 OPS.
Possible they pull him up.
No, he's in high A, so it'll be a couple years probably. But
What's his name? I got to be on the look for him.
Blake Burke.
Blake
Good baseball
Burke.
name.
That is
Yeah.
a good baseball name.
Really
Big
good.
time, 6'3", 240.
Big boy.
Yeah.
It's my big boy Blake. Big T, do you know anything about Brady House?
Yes, he was committed to Tennessee.
So he is third baseman for the Nationals.
Got drafted too high.
No, too high. He's the number 3 prospect overall.
He got drafted too high to go to Tennessee.
Got it. Okay, yeah. So he's the number 3 prospect in the Nats farm
I
system.
believe he's from Winder, Georgia.
You know a lot about this guy.
Fact check me on
He
that.
is.
Bro, I just sitting here thinking. I think like when we're playing, or me, when I'm playing board games or video games, shit, whatever. Big T's like looking at baseball shit. Like that's his.
I've got
this
a
is your
lot of
thing.
information up here.
You know
He is from
Winder.
way
If he's
more
from-
about this guy than I do.
If he's from Winder, I'm trying to think what high school.
Let's go.
He is.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What
I
is
have
it?
it on his roster.
Does it start with an M?
No.
What does it start with?
It's a W.
W. Well, it's not Wheeler. That's Marietta.
Is it Winder High School?
It says Winder Barrow
Oh, okay. Yeah, Barrow County.
in Winder, Georgia.
Okay.
So yeah, he's getting brought up by the Nats.
He played in Rochester.
Supposed to be a good player.
Okay, so Big T, let me ask you, as a ball knower, who should I take with the number 1 overall pick? Because the Nats have the number 1 overall pick in the MLB draft in July.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I taking?
Well, you obviously have Liam Doyle out of UT, who's going to be a top 2 or 3 guy.
Mm-hmm.
Electric starter. I've seen a lot of buzz for Cade Anderson now, he's from LSU. He's a starting pitcher, who's kind of up there with Doyle now for the top pitcher taken. There's Ethan Holiday, who was the consensus projected guy until recently. It seems like but the baseball draft is so weird. Like, you're not always taking the best guy necessarily. There's a lot of weird money stuff that goes into it.
And you have to see what your projected system's like, because you might have guys that play the same position that are pretty good.
That doesn't usually factor in with baseball.
Okay.
Like the Braves draft a starting pitcher in the first round every single year. Every year. Which is actually kind of the opposite of what you want to do, but that's a whole nother thing. But generally position stuff in baseball, they don't care because it's so long till guys come up anyway, and a lot of guys don't pan out.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have just have like a franchise guy that you know is going to be your second baseman for the next 15 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But I am partial to Liam Doyle, but I think people think Ethan Holiday is going to be a great player. Cade Anderson. There's another guy that he's a high school guy. I'm not very familiar with him.
I think I want Holiday.
Yeah, that'd be, was it you I was talking with? We were saying, because if he and Jackson played in high school together, has one high school team ever had 2 number 1 overall picks in anything?
And I don't think they have, right?
I can't imagine so. Not at the same time.
And it like the school Westlake in Austin, that's never had one.
Yeah, I don't.
Or never had 2.
Yeah, I don't know. But even football or basketball, like that played with each other, can't have happened.
That's crazy if it happens. And they're brothers, which is wild. And their dad was a big leaguer, also wild.
Drafts in Atlanta this year.
Before we get back to Macrodosing, it's brought to you by Game Time. Baseball's back. Nothing like getting to a baseball game, especially last minute. Lucky for me, I always use Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app go down the closer it gets to showtime. Big T, can you look up Nationals at Brewers tickets in July?
You threw me a curveball. I had it. I bought tickets on Game Time for Brewers Cubs.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Tonight as you're listening on Tuesday.
Okay, if you're on Game Time and you're looking to get out to a...
Well, now you want Brewers Cubs or do you want Nats?
I want Brewers Cubs.
Okay.
It's this week.
Yeah.
Act now. Supplies are limited. The friendly confines of Wrigley Field. How much are those tickets going for?
I can get you in for $38.
Great deal. Best place to watch a baseball game. Head out to Wrigley.
It's top 3 or 4, but...
The Game Time Picks feature makes it easier to find the great deals on the seats that you want. Just pull up your chosen event, turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deals near you on your Game Time app homepage. And if you're looking at those Cubs tickets, you can get a great deal with Game Time Picks. So get out, get a hot dog, a new hat, or some good old-fashioned Cracker Jack. Use that savings that you put back in your pocket and have a great time at the game. What are you waiting for? Get those tickets now. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code MACRO. Get $20 off your first purchase. That is promo code MACRO. Get $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. Macrodosing is also brought to you by Row Sparks. This is sponsored by Row. Row Sparks are 2-in-1 prescription treatment for stronger, harder erections. They hit the bloodstream faster because they dissolve under the tongue. Getting hard faster means having more sex. After they dissolve, they work in 15 minutes on average. Row Sparks can give guys thicker, longer erections than you usually have because they get fuller. Row Sparks give you the boost to last longer, so it's more fun for you both. Row stays active in your system up to 36 hours, so you can go back to back to back, round after round, and be ready for the morning after. Be ready with Row Sparks. With Row Sparks, you can get the erection that you've always wanted. Row connects guys with a medical provider. It's 100% online. There's no awkward conversation with in-person providers. If approved, treatment ships directly to your door. And if prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Sparks on a recurring plan. Connect with a provider at row.co/macro. Find out if prescription Row Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/macro. Get $15 off your first order. All right. Anything else we want to get into today?
I have voicemails if you want to do.
Let's hit some voicemails. Let's slam some VMs. Slide into the VMs. What's the number?
347-560-0401.
What's up, Macrodosing Pod? This is Carter from Edmonds. I got a question for Arian and PFT mainly, I guess, but since you guys have both made a good amount of money and you're both doing very well, if you had, say, you just wake up and you've got $500 million in your account, you've got Dell money, you've got this guy's wife who divorced him money, who I'm listening about right now on Thursday, Bezos' ex-wife, married school teacher. Like, say you had that money, what would you guys change about your life now? Because you're already obviously not worried too much about finances. What would you guys do different? I think you're still doing this podcast. I sure hope so, and DMT and stuff. But yeah, what would you guys change about your life already being pretty wealthy versus being that next step, ridiculously wealthy? Thanks, guys. Love the pod. Stay handsome. Stay beautiful.
500 mil in the bank when I woke up in the morning. I think the only thing that would really change about I would buy a few houses in different parts of the country, and I would fly private to all those houses. Probably. You don't think so, Arian?
No, you probably would. I mean, that's fun.
And I would have like sick ass recording studios built in each of my houses, so I could still do the shows, but I could do them remotely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I can do right now technically, but it's not the same as having like a sick ass studio.
Right, like Arian has, but you'd have it in like 5 houses.
Yeah, I'd have it in like 5 houses. I'd have a house in somewhere in Southern California,
Okay.
the San Diego area.
Okay.
I would have a house in
Austin.
I would have a house.
If you had a house in San Diego, would it be like, could I be like, yo, I'm finna pull up in San Diego. Can I stay there? Could I use it?
Could you stay at my hypothetical house?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
That's fucked up. I'm so ready for the absolutely.
I know.
I would build it right next to the Top Gun fighter school. And so I would chill out in the backyard watching planes land all day. It'd actually be unusable as a recording studio because it'd be so loud there.
You need to soundproof the entire home.
Yeah. I'd definitely have one in Austin. I would have one in New Orleans. I'd probably have one in the Outer Banks, North Carolina.
Love that.
DC?
Probably have one in D.C. Yeah, for sure have one in D.C. And outside of that,
Would you have a New York place?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think I would.
You don't go back there ever.
I don't really. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I miss parts of New York, but you know what I hate about New York?
Oh, tell me.
I hate getting to New York too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to New York is the worst. You have to fly into an airport and then you have to sit in traffic or get on a train for like an hour until you're finally in the city.
Like 5 trains.
You have
Yeah.
to do that here
I was gonna
as
say,
well.
if I told you, I feel like that about Chicago.
But at least the train here goes right from the airport to downtown.
That's true.
Yeah, I would
Does
also.
it really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. They have a pretty
Start
good
taking
train
the train.
system. You should. I took it last week. It's awesome.
I would get
Yeah.
a Jersey Shore house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely get one of those.
Wait, you're at like 6 houses.
I was going to
dude,
say,
like,
you're spending a lot of this money.
I got $500 million, dude.
not
Then
anymore.
I'd have one in Ireland. I would get a house in Ireland.
Ooh, I like this. You just become a
Just
real
keep
estate
firing
mogul.
these
How
fucking
often
houses
are you
up.
going to each?
Property tax gonna eat your ass up.
But no one can stay in them.
Nope, all for me. And then I would get a house in maybe Barcelona
Barcelona.
Okay.
or south of France.
Or both.
Fuck it,
How
maybe
many houses
both.
do you have right now?
I think I'm up to what, 7?
7 or 8. Yeah.
You've gone from 500 to 200 quickly.
That's fine. And guess what? If you have $200 million,
It's still great.
you still don't have to worry about shit for the
But
rest of your life.
the taxes on those things don't ever stop.
Yeah, then I would give all my friends a bunch of money.
Nice.
I'd
Yeah,
set them
you-
up.
Yo, this is like the equivalent of like them sloppy kids stuffing homework in their backpack. Like this, this is what it feels like, bro. You're just very sloppy with this.
I would give what? You don't think I should give all my friends a bunch of money?
But what does that mean?
I hit the lottery, break
I
off.
feel like you're just taking money out of the bag of here, bro. I fuck with you heavy.
Yeah, I'd break off $1 million for like my 10 best friends.
There you go. All right. A little more organized. I appreciate that.
Yeah, break off $1 million for my 10 best friends. Give my mom give my mom all the money that she'll ever need for the rest of her life.
Right.
Would
And
you buy your
then
mom a house?
Yeah, I'd get my mom a house.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I would make it my quest to repopulate the earth with my children because there's something special about me because I have so much money.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
There are so many future podcasters.
I would buy a ranch in New Mexico and just freeze all my semen in this. It would be a cryo chamber for my cum, and then I would just use that to repopulate the earth. You know, stuff normal people would do if they had that much money.
That's funny.
What would you do? Aaron?
It wouldn't change my life in like a significant way because I wouldn't move. I hate moving. I'm not going anywhere, so I'd stay here in this house. I would probably get a house for every one of my immediate. Well, it would only be too few because I got my dad a house, I got my mama a house already. I get my brother a house, my sister a house, and probably set him up like probably give him like a meal each. And then probably I don't know, man. I would probably what I really want to do is I've always wanted to start a co-op, but a grocery store. I've always wanted to do that. I want to start a grocery store in like a neighborhood that is in food desert, and do my best to keep the prices competitive, and super overpay the workers.
Mm-hmm.
Like like the checkout clerks get 60 grand, shit like that, like 70 grand, 100 grand, fuck it. And hopefully, that business can grow.
It's good. That's a good use of it.
Yeah, some shit like that. Like farms. I would probably get a farm so we could get like locally produced real food.
Yeah.
Yeah, shit like that. And then I'll figure something else out. I don't know.
I would also have like 20 dogs. They live at my place in Montana. That I just
Oh,
got.
yeah, I would never want to stay at your house and like walk in and smell like shit.
Yeah, the ranch in Montana.
Dogs would smell.
No, they protect the property. Some free
Oh,
range
you just
dogs.
gonna have them outside?
No, they can come inside when they want, but they They have a job to do. That's protect the property.
What kind of dogs?
Just a mix of giant dogs. They probably have 20 huge giant dogs.
How you gonna control that? They're gonna turn on you and eat you.
No, they're gonna take care of themselves, like a locker room.
Feeding. Take me through feeding time.
Just I during the day I cook up 40 pounds of ground beef, brown rice, sweet potatoes, maybe toss some celery in there, and some seasoning. Dogs don't get seasoning, so I put some salt and pepper, and then I just take a big giant bucket out. I just throw it out there on the porch for them. Then I'd whistle, and they'd all come running, and they'd come snuggle with me, and they'd be my best friends. And they'd protect me. I'd be their king.
That's wild, dog. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, even if you spend $400 million and you have $100 million, you don't have to worry about shit for the rest of your life. I don't think that's enough money to buy like a football team.
No.
And then you'd be team rich, or you'd be team poor.
It's enough to, I would call UT and I would say, listen, how much money would it take? I'm going to write you a check once. Don't ever ask me for any money again. But how much would it take for me to be like one of the top guys?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'd write him a check for $50 million or whatever it is. And I'd say, this is it. I'll pay for my tickets every year, whatever. But I'm giving you all this money to be in the inner circle forever.
I'm one of the ones.
Yeah.
Wait, when you mean top guys, what do you mean? What does that mean?
Like top boosters.
Like, they don't hire a coach without calling you and being
Correct.
like, hey, here's who we're thinking about interviewing.
Yes, but I don't want to be asked for money. I'll give you $100 million if you want, but this is a one-time deal, and then I want to be in forever.
Now, do you want to say in who they hire, or do you just want to be kept
Yeah,
informed?
I mean I'm paying $100 million. That's part of the deal.
So you would be like, I don't like this guy.
Yes.
You get one veto per hiring cycle?
I think it's just kind of a case-by-case basis, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. That would be pretty sweet.
Good. Would you still do podcasts?
I think I would still do podcasts.
No, you wouldn't.
I think I would.
No, you wouldn't.
You think I'm just going to sit here with my thoughts?
You're going to come to work.
You gotta get them shits out, baby.
I got takes, and if you don't want to have me going through
can
life
still
with
tweet.
all these takes just inside my own brain.
You tweet.
That would be bad for me.
No, but he'd have an at-home setup, so it wouldn't like take any work.
Yeah, like
besides
he could
speaking.
It is very
in
convenient. My
San
bed
Diego.
is right there.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
It's not bad, man. This is a good gig. I enjoy it. You guys are okay. It's good. It's a good gig.
Yeah,
Without us, you wouldn't have the Brewers.
That's facts. Forever grateful.
true.
Forever. Even if we divorce, I'm taking the Brewers with me.
I would get like 6 El Caminos.
Mm.
No, I probably would just have one.
How
car
about you
at
just
each
get a
house.
good engine for your now?
My engine's beautiful, Arian. It runs really well, and I've been driving it back and
Sometimes
forth to
head
work
ass.
every single day. And
You did give me the ride. It was fucking 30 seconds, but you gave me my ride in your El Camino, which
Yeah.
I appreciate. You need to modernize what is this shit called? The
Interior?
deck? There you go.
the dashboard.
Dashboard. There you go.
It's a retro dash, yeah. It is. But no, it's been running beautifully. It's been a great summer for it so far, knock on wood. I'm sure nothing bad will happen.
Before we get back to voicemails, I want to talk to you quick about Sport Clips. Sport Clips is dropping something huge this June, the Playmaker Sense. For a limited time, when you get the MVP haircut experience, aka the most relaxing haircut in the game, you can pick a brand new relaxing scent for your hot steam towel. Love that. Choose from a lineup of sports-inspired scents like early morning practice air, which smells like fresh grass, a cool breeze, and the start of a legendary season. Rawlings new leather glove with warm, rich notes of leather. That is what I will be choosing. And the wild card for those bold or hungry enough to try it, Stadium Buttered Popcorn, which smells insane. Fun fact, it's actually the staff favorite among the Sport Clips crew. I don't know how that could be possible given that there is a new leather baseball glove scent, but that's what they say. These scents are only around for June, and then they're gone, so visit now and try them out. Sport Clips, it's a game changer. Offer in 6/30/2025 at participating locations only and where permitted by law. Voicemails are also brought to you by Pardon My Cheesesteak. Pardon My Cheesesteak has a brand new combo on its menu, introducing the Big One, an original classic cheesesteak, your choice of our brownie bites or donut dippers and a drink, all for a discounted price. Perfect for your game day meal or late night eats, Pardon My Cheesesteak offers a wide variety of cheesesteaks, loaded fries, and popular desserts, all delivered right to your door. Go to pardonmycheesesteak.com to order with code PMC20 for 20% off.
Hey guys, James from New Jersey here with a question, I guess for all of you. I think the philosopher, Arian Foster, might chime in this one. How much are you guys thinking about karma on your day-to-day? Because I'm out here, I'm trying to bank karma points left and right. I'm letting people merge. I'm waving little critters across the street. I'm rounding up at the self-checkout. And then you'll have some guy just not even give you the thank you wave. And I'm like, what is going on? The world is on fire. All we have to do to make it a little better is just be nicer to everybody. And it seems like the people that aren't being the nicest are getting screwed. I mean, look at my man Big T, being polite, not talking in the Uber as a former Uber driver, summer driver. That's all I asked for. That's all I'd ask for. I'd be banging out fives all the time. Hey, all right. I just wanted to know. I have a little frustration here. Have a great day, everybody. Keep it real. Save you a bold.
All right. Do you think about karma on an hour-to-hour, moment-to-moment basis?
I have given up on the notion of karma a long time ago.
Uh-oh.
So I don't think it exists. So like people are like the energy you put in is energy. I don't think that shit is. Obviously, you know, my theological worldview that wouldn't align with any kind of karmic justice.
You don't
Can I
think
ask you a question then,
No.
please?
PFT? No, I'm just like, go ahead.
So if you don't believe in God, you don't believe there's any sort of reason for you to treat people well in that sense, and you don't believe there's
Whoa.
No,
Let me move that point.
because I know what you're gonna say, but just let me ask my question. For that reason, you don't believe that. You would agree with that?
Yeah, I don't treat people well because
correct,
there's a God.
correct.
Yes, yeah.
And you don't believe there's any sort of karma, so there's no reason for you to for that to come into play.
Mm-mm.
But I think you're a solid guy.
Thanks.
So from what is your behavior derived? Like you don't. I think you would acknowledge you don't really have a reason to not be an asshole to people.
I don't think there needs to be a reason.
Well,
Agree.
but they're right. So then your answer is that just for the hell of it.
I'm nice for the hell of it.
Yeah.
No, I'm a kind person because I believe, like my moral, like if you're asking like if this is a morality question, right? I believe everybody is a moral subjective. I think morals are subjective, right? You believe that your morals come from the book, that whatever that you believe in, right? I believe that is your interpretation of that book, right? So, but your foundation is the belief of a deity. Obviously, that deity has a certain set of characteristics that you believe to be true, right? I believe that is you're a moral subjectivist. You would probably be like a moral objectivist. You believe that morals come from God, probably. I don't. I think that everybody has their own set of beliefs, and you kind of just maneuver through the world the best you can. But me personally, I truly think that like I'm a pessimist. I'm pretty much a nihilist, but I'm an idealist. I think I have a good version of the world, what it could be in my head. And the only way that it would even be possible is if I was good. And so like I do want good for the world. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I do want good for the world. I enjoy joy, I enjoy peace, and I just try to do that. And plus it takes a lot of energy to be an asshole. Like if you had to check out counter, like you know what I mean? Say hi, be nice, whatever the case may be. Like it takes more energy to be an asshole than it does to be nice, in my opinion. I don't know.
Would you say it would make sense for someone else who has your same worldview to not think that way?
No.
Really?
I think
If you described yourself as a nihilist, like you think everything is
pretty meaningless, yeah.
fucked for more or less of a better term.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't acknowledge that someone with that view who doesn't believe in God, doesn't believe in any sort of karma or anything, it wouldn't make sense for them to just be like an asshole?
Would it make sense? I think you can make sense of anything in that world with that worldview.
I think
Okay.
Because there's nothing like I don't get in trouble for my actions in my head. right? So like
Sure.
if I wanted to murder somebody and get away with it, I don't think anything would happen to me. Like if this is, I would never do that. But like nothing, there's no consequences for my actions other than if I was to get caught, right? But if I
Correct.
was
So
to
so then would it
yeah,
not behoove someone to act more in their own self-interest in that scenario?
I know that I think everybody always acts in their own self-interest, right? And we justify it with whatever reasons, right? I justify my own interests with I believe that everybody wants to be treated with kindness. That's my own self-interest that I'm projecting on everybody else. I don't know that everybody, but I assume so, right? But that's my moral foundation is I treat people how I want to be treated. That's my moral foundation. And so it doesn't I don't look at my worldview and your view as different.
So that's
It's
what I was fixing to say. Like, to me, that's biblical. Like, Jesus said literally almost verbatim what you just said. But then, but you're just doing it because you know that's what you want.
yeah.
So you try to do it, which again makes sense. I'm just asking. It doesn't come from anywhere. You're just doing it, which is fine.
Well,
That's great.
yeah, no, I believe yours doesn't come from anywhere in by your logic, right?
But it does
So
come from somewhere. You just don't believe in where it comes from. But it comes from somewhere.
well, yeah, it comes from a culture that evolved over hundreds of thousands of years of it's probably best if we don't kill each other if we want to survive, right? I believe we evolved and that instinct for survival evolved over hundreds of thousands of years of Eric's scared of heights. That probably came from ancestors falling from high things. And when you tip over, you get those butterflies in your stomach. Like that is an evolutionary trait carried over. I think that's where it stems from. That like I have an innate want of community to not die because we need each other for survival. That's where I think my morality evolved from over a long period of time. Plus cultural influences, society changes over years, all of that, all those factors combined. I think it's very similar to yours. Um, I just don't think that it's a magic guy in the sky.
So, Big T, let me ask you a question. If murder was legalized, how many murders would you commit?
Me?
Yeah.
0.
There you go.
But that I don't think your question makes much sense.
Well, it's kind of along the same lines of why, like, rules in place. Do I not commit murder because there's a law in place that says it's illegal? Or do I...
Well, but you're asking someone who, like, I have another reason why.
Oh, for religious.
But also,
religious
a better question would be if you're talking not to Aryan, but someone who has Aryan's mostly worldview.
Mm-hmm.
If you said if robbery became legal, there's a motivation for you to do it in your self-interest.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really have any reason why you would believe it's wrong other than you just choose to believe it's wrong.
Golden rule. Do unto others.
Again, right, but if you don't derive that from anywhere, you're just choosing to believe it.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So then that would be a better.
But there's
example.
there's logic behind it though.
Sure. Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's not just I don't think it's just like I believe it to believe it. There's logic behind why it's probably not in my best interest to steal.
Because if you steal from somebody, they might end up fucking you up.
Okay. So are you saying like a self-preservation is?
Yeah, survival.
Okay.
So
no. Okay.
if I live
makes
in a
sense.
okay, yeah. So let me ask you a deeper moral question. If God commanded you to kill somebody, would you do it?
I don't necessarily. So give me the scenario.
God said, "Big T killed so and so."
I don't think God would do that.
Like, well, what about the?
He has a track record of telling
Yeah,
people to
what
kill
about
people.
the
Sacrifice.
What about the?
Right, but you're
son
talking to me.
Taking him up to the mountain.
Right,
I am
and
talking to you.
then what happened?
I know, but
He said JK.
he said JK.
Mhm.
But I'm just
It's a
saying,
prank.
would you get that far?
If you truly believe that God has compelled you to do something like that, or has spoken to you directly to do that, I don't know.
Would you?
I don't know.
See, that's wild to me. If there was a God, I don't believe that there is, but let's say that there is and I'm wrong. And he said, Arian, I want you to kill so and so, whatever. I'm telling him no. Send me wherever you got to send me, doggy. I have a higher moral compass than that. There's plentiful of examples in the Bible of him commanding people to kill people. There's a genocide in there. Like, it's happened. Women, children, babies, all that. And so to me, and this is partly the reason why I don't find that book very believable, but I don't think in a morally just and an omniscient, omnipotent being, there's zero. I don't see the justification in almost all of the actions in the Bible, especially the Old Testament. It just doesn't square with who I am as a human being. So like if I don't, which is partly why I sleep well, not because I had a lot of debates back when I was in college with like Christians, and they're like, well, how do you sleep well knowing like you could be wrong? If I'm at Judgment Day, right, and I'm talking to the Lord, and He's like, "Well, why didn't you believe me?" If He doesn't understand my reasoning, if He doesn't think that's reasonable, like, yo, you gave us a book in 2,000 years that did not get updated for 2,000 years, shaky evidence, yada yada yada. And if you don't think that that is reasonable enough to not have sufficient evidence to believe you existed, then we just don't live in the same reality, and I'm okay with that. Send me where you got to send me.
Some would say creation is evidence, but
they would be wrong.
I would say, how is it fair and just that somebody can be born onto this planet that never hears about Christian theology and they're committed to hell?
I think you should listen to Wesley Huff, someone who I would love to get on this show, actually.
I DM'd him. He ain't answered yet, bro.
He is a theologian of sorts. He's a ancient text guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that I would hope God doesn't judge us on what we don't know and judges us on what we do know.
I would hope that, yeah.
The whole premise is wild to me. Like, why are you judging us? You made us. You gave me my brain, fam. You know what it would take to convince me. Convince me. It's very simple. You know what it would take to convince every single human being.
But there,
convince me.
I think I've asked you this. Maybe I haven't. Is there anything that could convince you? I don't think there is.
Absolutely.
Like what?
I don't know.
Well, you can't say that something could convince you. Have to be able to provide some sort of example.
And all of the world's events, to my knowledge, that I have came across, I have been unconvinced that a deity, especially in that context of the Abrahamic gods, exists. It is wholly unconvincing. In order to convince me, I would need to see evidence that has not yet been presented. Like nothing has convinced me. Like, so you say, some would say that's evidence. Creation is evidence, right?
Sure.
I don't find that convincing because we have, whether you believe it or not, we have mountain loads of evidence of evolution, right? Of us evolving over hundreds of thousands of years. We have that is convincing. And so it doesn't meet to me any critical thought other than you invoking, right? Somebody told you there was a God and that was sufficient for you. Whether you have a relationship, you felt like you've talked to him, whatever the case may be, I don't judge that. That's none of my business. But the notion that you think that there's a God is inferred, right? There's nothing like you can actually, there's no tangible proof. And to me, in that book, it says God is not the author of creation. I'm sorry, God is not the author of confusion. And that is the most confusing book maybe ever written. It is literally the most debated book ever written. It gets more clear than that. I respect people that believe it, but it's just like I don't convince me, dog. Like I don't know. And if he's gonna send me to hell, look, you said it yourself. I'm a good dude. I try to treat people kind. You know, I've made my mistakes, but I'm a good person. And I'm at Judgment Day, and you gonna send me to hell because I was curious, or I just required a little bit more evidence to believe, and
Well,
then you're gonna send somebody who murdered somebody to heaven because he believed. I don't even want to be a part of that playground. Fuck
well,
that place.
would you like me to answer that genuinely?
Sure.
I think our definition of a good person is still in the eyes of God, a bad person. Like you would agree, if to whatever extent whatever the word sin means, you sin. I sin
Sure.
all the time. I would say everyone on earth is, in the eyes of God, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. In the eyes of God, everyone is a bad person. You are.
That's insane to me.
Why is
Bro.
that insane?
What? Because you made everybody. You did it. You made this playground, fam. You made this whole shit,
And then we
you
choose
sit
to
there
sin.
like this fucking place here, bro. Citizen, it is psychopathic. It is insane to create something and then judge it that harshly. It is insane. That's why, like, I have no problem like going to hell if there is one. I like no problem because that thing, if that is true, is crazy, and I don't want to. I don't want to be a part of that. If it, let's take your hypothetical. There is a man that is sinless. I don't want to say sinless. Let's say he stole a piece of candy when he was a kid and he never did it again. Treats people kind, greatest, gives to charity, great human being. And then there's this serial killer, and the serial killer has been killing, and in prison he finds Jesus Christ. But the good guy who only stole candy when he was a kid he doesn't believe in Jesus Christ. In your worldview, the serial killer's getting into heaven, and the guy who stole candy is not, right?
I mean, I can't speak for God, but yes.
That to me is
Again,
like
we really need to get
insane.
Wes Huff on this show because I've been on a big kick of his recently, and I love a lot of his stuff. I'm just quoting him all the time. But what someone asked him something similar, and he said, "There's justice, mercy, and grace. Justice is getting what you do deserve. Mercy is not getting what you deserve, and grace is getting what you don't deserve." And Jesus gives us grace in that no one deserves to go to heaven. But if through Christ, you can accept his grace and go to heaven.
That I couldn't imagine thinking that is
Why?
anywhere near reason. It's not. It's unreasonable.
Why?
It's unreasonable. It's irrational because I'm God. I create a species knowing that where it's going to go because you're omniscient. You know everything that's going to happen. I create the species knowing how and what is going to happen. I send myself down to kill myself to save them from the judgment that I have for them. That dog, it just makes zero rational sense. What's more rational is I make this species and I say, hey, I made you guys. Enjoy your life. Try not to kill each other. And if you do, like, I can help out. Or there's just so many other ways that you could go
So
about
tell
it
me,
rather than sending yourself on a sacrificial mission to save humanity from you.
so what's the point of God creating a Sims universe where nothing is nothing's real?
What do you mean nothing's real? What do you mean?
Like if you like it sounded like what you were saying is God creates a universe where all the people are perfect, and it's that what's the point of that?
What's the point of this? I believe I'm probably more close to a nihilist. So I don't think that there's a real meaning behind things. I think we just exist. And I think the universe is, I mean, we are the universe experiencing itself. And I don't know that there's meaning in that, but I enjoy life. I don't find it rational to have a deity be so vengeful with something that you created? Like, why are you so angry? And why you have so much bloodlust? You have less restraint than a lot of human beings. There's a lot of human beings that have never killed anybody or have never wanted to have revenge on anybody to the point of like death. But you do. How are you the creator of everything and you have such petty human emotions? For I'm a vengeful or I'm a jealous God. How are you jealous?
I partially disagree with the premise of your question, but I think I have a partial answer for it. And again, I'm not a theologian. I don't like answering a lot of these questions, but I think I can answer that one. If you were a perfect being, creator of the universe as it were, and you created something that is perfect, and then people ruined it, you would be upset.
I would argue that I ruined it because I created something that was imperfect. And it rationally follows that if I'm perfect and I create something imperfect, that means imperfection will ensue.
Well, I would say that what was created is perfect, and God gives us free will to do with that what we will.
But in his creation, he gave us free will, right?
Correct.
That's part of his creation. So he implanted that imperfection in us.
It's not it's the giving you the choice.
His free will, inside of his free will, allots us that choice.
It's your free will.
So we are separate from God.
Expand on what you mean by that, because yes and no.
So we don't have there's no tie from me to God right now. I am separate from him.
Yes.
But he created me.
Correct. I would say you are a child of God who has chosen to be separate from him. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. If in that in that scenario, yeah.
Which, by the way,
I ruined God's perfect universe. Yeah.
I would say everyone has.
And I just think that's respectfully insane.
Okay.
Yeah.
Respectfully
but
insane.
you also I hear you say all the time, like, people are terrible and stupid and bad.
Absolutely.
So if you believed that God created the universe and did so perfectly, you would also agree with the sentiment that people ruin it.
No, but I don't believe that God created the universe.
Sure, but you see where that can come from.
No,
but you just think God, having created the people who ruined it.
No, I think to believe that there is an all perfect, all knowing God, and then believe that man is in a fallen state and place no blame on God, I believe that is those are opposite opinions that you hold. I believe that is a contradiction at its core. And I think a lot of religious thought is contradicting, but people suspend reason and rationality when it comes to God for whatever reason. It is to believe that somebody is perfect and they can create imperfection those are opposing views.
But again,
and then you're placing the imperfection in our laps, but he made us. He made it.
Correct, with free will.
That's his making. He made that. If you make that, like,
yes,
it's a part of the project. You're taking God's name off the project. It's part of the project. He made it. He made that shit.
I see what you're saying, but surely you can also see how that's different.
How is it different?
I'm struggling to come up with a better way to explain this other than you are created in God's image with the free will to do what you please.
Rewind it back. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about who you believe to be the first people is Adam and Eve.
Okay.
Right? He created them.
Correct.
Did he create them with the knowledge that they would rebel against him?
That's a difficult question to answer, but probably.
I would answer it's very easy. he knows everything. He knows everything that has happened. He knows everything that will happen. So surely he knew they were going to rebel, right?
Yes.
So why create a
But now you're
creature?
getting into a question of I think that's a separate question. I think you're having a question of omniscience and like a kind of a time travel deal where like if you know what's going to happen in the future, I think that's a separate question.
No,
But you also you don't agree. You don't think people have free will, correct?
I don't think we have free will. No,
So then I think that also plays into your thoughts on this as well.
it does not. Well, technically yes, but what you're saying, no, it does not.
I think you're coupling, and again, I do see your argument. I understand what you're saying, but I do think you're coupling your belief that people don't have free will with, so if God created them, they don't have free will, then God created their sin, basically.
Yes.
Right. I would say God creates people in his image. You have free will to do what you please. If you sin, that's a choice you're making.
I don't. I guess what I don't understand is how you. I think you're a very reasonable human being for the most part, right? I think you have some blind spots. I think you probably think the same of me. How can you see that, or how can you think that an imperfect creation made by a perfect creation is not the fault of the creator?
Because I would say the creation was perfect until sin entered.
Did he? But he knew what was going to happen. This is why that
Again,
earlier
that's
premise is important.
yeah.
He
Again,
knew.
yes,
If I had an experiment and I was making an experiment and I knew the outcome of the experiment and I wanted the best outcome of the experiment, why would I put in the elements to make it go awry?
I can't answer that.
But see, that to me is the irrationality of it, and why I think in religion people suspend their rationality when it comes to God. The I can't answer that is there is, because it doesn't make sense, and I agree it doesn't make sense, and that conclusion leads me to believe that there isn't one, because in this world, A cannot be B, B cannot be A. There are certain logical things. There are certain ways the universe works, and that to me, a lot of the notion of a God is irrational. A lot of the notion of his existence doesn't make any sense, and because of that, I suspend belief. It's not. I'm not asserting that there isn't, because there could be. Who knows? I don't fucking know, right? But just
No,
given
you have
some of the
asserted that there isn't.
I've never asserted that there isn't.
But you believe there isn't.
Yeah, that's not an assertion.
Okay.
It's like, okay, Matt Dillahunty gives this great example. Let's say you have a jar in front of you, right? And you would agree that the jar either has an even number of gummy bears in there or an odd number of gummy bears in there, right?
Yes, I would say that is very
It can
likely.
only be even, and it can only be odd. There can't be anything else, right? And so if I was to tell you, yo, trust me, dog, there's an even number in there, would you believe me?
I don't know. There's a 50-50 shot.
Would you believe me?
Again, it's 50-50. I don't know. So I would say no, I wouldn't, because it's a coin flip.
I agree. I am unconvinced that there is a God. It doesn't mean that I'm saying that there isn't. I'm just unconvinced that there is. Just like you would be unconvinced that there's even in there. There could be odd. You don't know. You're just unconvinced.
Sure.
But that's different than saying I can definitively prove there is no God.
Yes, I don't think you've said anything like that. But I think all the things that you've said, you believe there isn't.
I believe that the existence of an Abrahamic God is highly improbable. Anything is possible, but I just think it's very improbable given the evidence that I've seen. This doesn't make any sense that there would be somebody like that.
I think PFT needs to watch Wes Huff videos, who has gotten up and left, by the way. And I think you should read a book that I'm actually reading right now called The Case for Christ. Not that it's going to convince you that God
by Lee
exists.
Strobel?
Correct.
I've already read it.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
I was going to say not that I think it's
have it.
going to
It's
convince
okay.
you that Jesus exists, but that I think it answers some of the questions you have posed.
I think that there is a good case for a man that walked by the name of Jesus around that time. There's a good chance that that happened. Don't know that there's any evidence that there was any divine acts. Matter of fact, I know there hasn't been any evidence of the divine acts. I don't disagree that Jesus Christ existed. A guy by the name of Jesus Christ existed. I don't disagree with that. It's the divinity part that I remain unconvinced about.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, whoever dies first, man, let us know. You know, figure out a way to let me know, fam.
We'll see.
If I'm a ghost or some shit, I'll come back and let you know, dog.
Okay.
Like, yo, that nigga real, bro. I'll spell it out.
Oh,
in-
man.
in the-
What
in
an
the
answer to
cloud.
that question, by the way. I don't remember what the question was. Oh, it was about
It
karma.
was karma.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just do you think about karma a lot?
Oh yeah, I forgot about the question, dog. If you still listening, my guy, nope.
Long story
But it sounds like he was a good dude, though. And,
Yeah, I
like,
don't think he was doing it in a harmful way.
Yeah, no. It sounded like he's a good dude, and he gets frustrated by other people who don't,
reciprocate.
reciprocate it, and that is frustrating. And probably small part of the pie chart why I'm like a nihilist and a pessimist is because no matter how much good you do, it's frustrating that people don't put forth the same effort, and that can be debilitating at times. And it's just like that's why I'm a little hermit, man. I don't go out much, though, because it's depressing. It is, but my kids they keep me going.
No.
I guess that's the end of the show, given that PFT got up and left.
Yeah, probably had shit to do. Which is funny because he was like, "Yo, let's do 2 shows today." Head ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nuts.
My man. Anywho, that's Theological Talk with Big T and Arian. Hope
I feel like we're good for almost that exact discussion once every 6 months or so.
it's good, man.
I did
Dust
not
off
think-
the old. Go ahead.
I did not think that voicemail was going to devolve into that, but
I mean, it's along the same lines.
It's
Yeah.
morality. Yeah, morality. Can always go in there. But I appreciate y'all listening. We'll see you next. We don't have a topic, but we'll see you next. No, this is Wednesday. My bad. We'll see you Thursday. Fuck me. Yeah. Don't kill anybody. Peace.